My beloved child, this is a summons, a sacred appointment carved out of eternity just for you, and appointed for your ears and your spirit right now. I have wrapped my voice inside these very words, not for your entertainment, but for a divine encounter. If you miss what I am saying here, you might walk past a door I am opening specifically for you. You've been asking me, God, are you speaking? And I want you to know that I am, and I always have been. But this message is different because in this very moment, I am going to expose the lies that have distorted your hearing. I will silence the noise that has buried my whispers, and I will reawaken your ability to discern the sound of heaven. Do not rush this moment and do not scroll away, for what I am about to release carries the power to shift your life, reroute your path, and restore your sensitivity to me. If you turn away now, you will forfeit answers you have been begging me for in secret. But if you stay, I will peel back the veil and speak to your spirit in a way you have not known before. This is more than truth. It is a visitation. Soul in and watch until the final breath of this message. Hear every word like it was spoken in fire and sealed in blood, because it truly is. And you will be held accountable for what you heard today. I say this not to frighten you, but to awaken your reverence. My voice is in this. Do not miss me. Do not scroll past me. And do not harden your heart to what heaven is reaching to give you. I am speaking now. So listen until the day. Ryand, place your hand over your heart and say out loud, I hear you, Lord. My child, be still now and quiet the noise, silencing the worries that run restless in your mind. Let your breath slow down, let your shoulders seize and come close, closer still. For I am speaking, not in the thunder or the fire or the roar of the crowd, but in the whisper between heartbeats and in the stillness between your thoughts. You have looked for me in signs and wonders, but I have always been right there, waiting in the hush, speaking not to your ears but to your spirit. Open up now and let the ears of your heart awaken. You have asked where I am, and answer now that I have been beside you all along. Speaking not with volume but with truth, and with a power that requires no shout to be real. You do not need to strain to hear me, you only need to lean in. Listen not with your flesh but with faith, and feel my presence wrap around you like a warm wind at dawn. Feel my whisper press into your soul like oil seeping into dry ground. I am speaking even now, guiding you, guarding you, and gathering you back to myself. Discern me, my child. For many voices surround you, each calling for your attention and aiming to lead you, but not all air of me. The world yells, fear demands, and flesh insists, but my voice brings peace. My voice brings clarity, not confusion. My voice never manipulates and never condemns, but it awakens, heals, and restores. Stay near to him and you will not be deceived. For my sheep know my voice. I have marked you as mine, and I will never lead you astray. When others twist truth for gain, I speak to anchor your soul. When lies surround you like a fog, I speak as fire to burn them away. Grab a pen now and write down the single phrase I give you in the next 30 seconds. Keep it, come back to it. Return to the secret place where only you and I meet, letting your prayers be the doorway and your worship the path. Listen when your eyes, listen when the stars scatter the night, and listen in the H and in the joy. For I am speaking, yes, even through your tears I am there, and even in the silence you fear I am not absent. I am testing the soil of your spirit, calling you deeper and inviting you to trust me more than your senses. Let me teach you the language of stillness, and show you how to hear between the lines of life. I don't rush and I do not beg, but I wait for the surrendered and dwell with the hungry. I speak clearest to those who seek me not for answers alone, but for me presence. Come and tune your spirit to the frequency of heaven, letting go of your need to understand everything. I am not a puzzle to solve, but a father to follow. You keep asking for direction, but have you made room for discernment? Make space, my beloved, make space for me to fill Shut the door to distraction and open the window of your heart. For I will pour and lighten with it my voice. I have wisdom for you, secrets to share, warnings to give, and encouragements to whisper. But you must come near. Now pause and breathe in my presence. Feeling it surround you like morning mist over quiet waters. You are not alone in this moment. You are seen, you are heard. And I, your God, your shepherd, and your maker am speaking. Solace not with your ears, but with your spirit. For my voice is in this, my child. I want you to understand something eternal. What is peak cannot be undone. My word is not wind, it is weapon and wonder. It doesn't drift in and out of relevance like the voices of men, but it stands, it pierces, and it accomplishes. Every syllable I have ever released carries the breath of creation and the weight of glory. Heaven and earth may tremble and pass away, but my word remains like a mountain unmoved by storm, like a flame untouched by the darkness. When I say a thing, it is not a suggestion, it is a certainty. I don't net speak to stir shallow hope or to tease your faith with delay, but I speak to build foundations, to shift atmospheres, and to ignite transformation. You may not see the fulfillment yet, but I assure you that what I have spoken over your life is already in motion. Trust me, even in the quiet seasons, and even when the sky seems void of signs, my word does not expire, it does not weaken, and it will not return to empty. It will achieve every purpose for which it is entered. Hold on to the promises I whispered when you were in tears, and cling to the declarations I placed in your spirit when you were too weary to dream. I have not forgotten a single word. I do not speak in vain, and I do not speak by accident. My timing may test you, but it will never fail you. I watch over my word to perform it. Even now, I am watching over what I said about you, about your future, about your family, about your healing, and about your purpose. Doubt what I declared in the light even when you are walking through shadows. Come back to what I said, revisit my promises. Write them on the tablets of your heart and repeat them aloud until they drown out the lies that scream failure. My child, your circumstance does not cancel my covenant. My word remains true even when the world shakes around you. It is not fragile, it is not seasonal, it is His word that breaks chains and builds kingdoms. Let me tell you again that I don't forget what I speak, and I do not revoke my promise because of your weakness. I am not a man that is should lie, nor the son of man that is should change my mind. If I said I would provide, then provision will come. If I said I would restore, then restoration is on its way. If I said I would heal, then healing has already begun. I would never leave you, then I never will. Source in confidence and stand on my word like rock beneath your feet. Declare it over your life, pray it into your atmosphere, and live as if it is already done, because in my realm, it is. My word was not just meant to inspire you, it was sent to carry you into the fulfillment of what I have planned for you. This is your anchor in uncertainty, your sword in battle, and your inheritance. And I say to you now, my child, trust what I have spoken. It will not fail, it cannot. My word will never return void. You feel the wind, don't you? The winds of fear, the chaos of circumstance, the swirling doubts that rush like waves against your mind. But listen, just listen, because my voice is in this too. I never promised you skis without clouds, but I promised my presence in the midst of every storm. And right now, in the middle of the tempest, I am speaking not to frighten you or overwhelm you, but to guide you like a lighthouse breaking through the fog. Do not confuse my silence with my absence. I am not far. I am closer than the breath trembling in your chest. When thunder rolls and lightning strikes around you, lift your eyes not in panic but in trust. I am the one who commands the wind and walks upon the waves. I can speak peace and still the chaos with a single word. But sometimes I speak differently. Sometimes I whisper so that you walk closer. Sometimes I let the storm rages so that you remember your refuge is not in circumstances, but in me. Let your spirit lean in. Even now, I am speaking direction, releasing wisdom, and anchoring your faith. You think you are surrounded by danger, but look again. For you are surrounded by me. The enemy howls, but my whisper is louder in the spirit. Let it calm you, let it ladder you, and let it remind you who you are and whose you are. You've cried out asking why this is happening, but I ask you to shift your question, ask instead, what are you saying, Lord? For the storm isn't meant to destroy you, it's designed to deepen you. Your roots are growing stronger in the shaking, and your faith is being purified like gold in fire. Do not run from the wind and do not panic at the waves. You are not alone in this boat. I am here, I am always here. Listen for him. It may not be in the dramatic, and I may not come with flashes of lightning. I may simply be in the stillness that follows your surrendered breath. Invite me, ask me to speak, and I will. I promise you this, no storm, no struggle, and no season is void of my voice. I am the God who spoke to Elijah in a whisper, who held Moses through cloud and fire, and who calmed the sea with peace. Be still, and I say this to you now, peace. Be still. The storm will not last forever, but my word endures forever. My child, do not fear what surrounds you, but focus on who is within you. Let my whisper enter your soul when fear tries to roar. I have not left you to figure this out alone. I am steering the storm itself, bending it for your good. And even now, I am preparing the next shore where you will stand stronger, deeper and surer. Never before, am still speaking, and you will hear me more clearly on the other side of this. Come now, my child, and open the sacred pages not as mere words, but as breath from my lungs. This is not old ink on worn paper. This is my living voice and my eternal breath. I did not preserve my word for history alone. I preserved it to reach you now. Every verse, every promise, and every line was written with you in mind. The Bible is not distant, it is divine. It is not just truth, it is a voice, my voice. If you want this to go deeper into your life, pause and say aloud the promise you most need right now. Then write it where you will see it today. Your heart will hear me clearer each time you open it. Not with haste, but with hunger. Read not as a scholar looking for answers, but read as a seeker yearning for an encounter. I am in the Psalms when you weep, in the Proverbs when you seek wisdom, in the Gospels when you long for grace. I am in the wilderness with Israel, in the prison with Paul, and in a garden with Jesus. You are not reading stories, you are stepping into sacred spaces. I wrote them with my spirit, I preserve them with my power, and I will breathe through them again and again, every time you turn to them with expectation. Let me guide you through the pages. I hid treasures not from you, but for you. In the wilderness of your life, you will find manna, my word. In the confusion of your days, you will find direction like fire by night. In the ache of your soul, you will find me speaking love, strength, and truth that no lie can erase. My child, do not let dust gather on your answer. The breakthrough you pray for often begins when you open the very word I have already sent, meditate on it, eat it like bread, and speak it aloud until it becomes spark to fire very breath. My word will renew your mind, cleanse your wounds, and carve out courage in places you didn't know existed. Do not treat Scripture as routine, it is revelation. Let it tread you even as you edit. Let it convict, awaken, purify, and align, for I will speak to you again and again through it. And each time I will tailor my message for the moment you are in. I am speaking through these pages, timeless but always timely. If you want to hear me, come here first. Make this your dwelling place, and you will never be lost. You don't need a pro. Fet when my word is near. You don't need to chase voices when my own is written for you, waiting and alive. So come open the book, and you will open my heart, my child, you. Not just the you that smiles in public or holds everything together for others. I see the silent places. I see the wounds you tuck beneath your daily rituals. The questions buried beneath your resilience, and the memories you have wrapped in silences so tightly you no longer speak of them. Not even in prayer. But listen to them. Nothing you have hidden is hidden from me. And nothing you carry is too deep for my voice to reach. I don't need to expose you to shame you. I reveal to heal. Bring me what hurts. Bring me what feels too messy to admit. I do not recoil from your brokenness. I draw near to it. Where others turned away from your pain, it turned toward it with compassions of ears. It moved me to the cross. That is how deeply I long to restore you. That is how committed I am to healing what the world trampled and what time has not yet erased. One word from me can enter the places no hand has touched and breathe life again. I am not like them. Do not throw stones. I do not choose your past to accuse you. I use your past to redeem you. When I speak, it is not with the tone of condemnation. It is with the sound of restoration. I have always been the one who steps into broken stories and writes beauty where others only saw shame. So do not hide your scars from me. Show me where you have been bleeding. Let me speak life where silence once has settled like dust in your soul. You don't need to fake strength before me. I already know how tired you are. You don't need to perform to be accepted. I already chose you when you were at your lowest. I have watched your tears fall without witness, and I have collected each one. I know the names of your traumas. I know the sting of words that were never taken back. I know the echo of prayers that felt unanswered. And yet I have not forgotten you. I have been preparing this moment right now for your healing to begin. Let me whisper to the places you have locked away. Let me enter not just your service, but your soul. I don't come with force. I come with tenderness and power. And when I speak healing, it is not partial, it is complete. I restore what was stolen. I repair what was shattered. I resurrect what was thought dead. And yes, I even restore the years the locust devoured. Now breathe. Let your heart unclench. Release the memories you have tried to bury. I am not afraid of your story. I came to redeem it. Your silence has spoken to me louder than any words, and I have answered. Even now I am speaking over your pain with promises. I am declaring over your shame with mercy. I am washing away the stains others marked you with. You are not dirty, you are not too far gone, and you are not beyond repair. You are mine. Come to me in the rawness of your pain, and I will meet you with the power of my voice. Let me wrap my arms around every part of you. Seen and the hidden, for in my presence nothing stays broken, and in my voice everything becomes whole. Let me speak, let me heal, and let me make all things new, starting now. My child, don't stop now. You have only just begun to hearth the fullness of my heart. If you walk away here, you may silence what I designed to restore you. Let me finish what I have started. I have waited too long, spoken too personally, and revealed too deeply for you to turn away halfway. Stay with me. My next word may be the one that breaks the very chain you have been carrying. Keep listening, for I am not done speaking, and I don't want to lose your attention here. You felt it, haven't you? That dream that lingered when the morning light crept in, that image that refused to fade. That word, that feeling, that echo in your spirit that followed you into your waking hours. That wasn't coincidence, that was me, my child. If that dream just surfaced again, stop and write it down now. Steward that dream, treat it as a holy word. I am still speaking in dreams and visions. I have not changed. I spoke to Joseph in the night. I called Samuel while the world was asleep, and I am still whispering my secrets. When the earth grows quiet and your defenses come down, do not dismiss what I reveal in the night hours. I often visit the realm of your rest to bypass the noise of your reasoning. When your mind lays down, your spirit awakens. It is there in that sacred space between slumber and soul that I plant direction, warning, comfort, and calling. I do not wait for the perfect moment in your schedule. I create moments while you sleep, and to fill them with my messages. You have asked me to speak. You have begged for clarity. I have not withheld it. I have been speaking to you more than you realize, but you must learn to discern the language of my spirit. I don't always shout. I don't always use thunder or sermons. Sometimes I use pictures. Sometimes you have glimpses. Sometimes I show you pieces of a puzzle and invite you to seek me for more. Write it down, steward your dreams, treat them as the sacred whispers they are. You are not forgotten in the night. I am revealing your path, your identity, and your assignment. Do not rush to explain away what is divine. Test it. Yes, always test it by my word, but don't discard it because it feels too big. Is how you glimpses of your future not to overwhelm you, but to stretch your faith to walk toward it. I speak through dreams to prepare your spirit before your eyes can comprehend what I am doing. When I send visions, I am giving you language for things your reality hasn't caught up to yet. Do not be afraid when I speak beyond your experience. Trust that I know the way. I am not trying to confuse you. I am inviting you deeper into trust, deeper into intimacy, deeper into the unfolding of your calling. Why, or not imagining it. I am speaking. The dreams that stir you are not fantasy. They are an invitation. The visions that disrupt your sleep are not chaos. They are a commissioning. I am awakening you. I am showing you things to come. I am preparing you to walk in realms of glory the world cannot explain. So pay attention. Honor what you see. Guard your rest like a sanctuary, for I meet you there. Ask me to confirm what you receive, and I will. Ask me to clarify what you cannot yet interpret, and I will. I will not hide myself from you. I love to reveal and you love to surprise. I will not leave you confused. I will speak again, and when I do, your spirit will recognize me, my precious one. I do not push, I lead. I do not shout demands from behind you. I call you forward as your shepherd. My voice is not the one pressuring you with panic. It's not the one rushing your decisions or demanding perfection. No, that is not me. I lead with peace, I guide with presence, I walk ahead of you so you can see my footprints and follow them in faith. My voice is not the one pressuring you with panic. It's not the one rushing you, or decisions or demanding perfection. No, that is not me. I lead with peace, I guide with presence. I walk ahead of you so you can see me footprints and follow them in faith. I never push you into fear. I invite you into trust. You were never meant to live under pressure, but under promise. That tightness in your chest, that anxiety that tells you that you are behind, that is not my spirit. I never drive my sheep like a taskmaster. I call them by name and lead them gently. When you hear urgency that steals your peace, pause. That is not the tone of your Father. When you feel confusion cloud your path, come back to stillness. My voice carries clarity. It always has, not the pressure to perform. Follow me, not the loud expectations of the world. I do not measure you by the pace of others. I lead you according to the timing of heaven. I know the terrain ahead. I know the dangers unseen, and I know what strength is needed for every step. So if I tell you wait, trust that it's because I'm preparing something greater. If I tell you to move, know that I have already gone before you. You have been taught that leadership must be aggressive, that progress must be hurried. But I teach you the rhythm of grace. I walk at a pace where your soul can breathe. I call you higher. Yes, but I also walk with you. I do not bark instructions from a distance. I stay close. I lead with kindness and wisdom, not with pressure and panic. My child, you do not have to figure everything out at once. Just stay near to me and I will make your next step clear. Release the fear that tells you you'll miss it. You won't. My voice is steady, my hand is sure. I know how to get your attention. I know how to lead a willing heart. Let go of striving. Let go of the need to please everyone. Let me lead you into still waters. Let me restore your soul. Let me walk with you through every valley and every mountaintop. You do not need to run to be accepted. You do not need to produce to be approved. You are mine, and I lead mine with love, not force. Come now, take my hand. Walk with me. Let peace return. Let my voice become your compass again. For I am not driving you. I am leading you home, entering, my child. Step into the place where heaven leans low and time bends under the weight of eternal conversation. Prayer is not a formality. It is not a performance. It is not a ritual built for repetition. Prayer is a meeting place, as a cred table where I sit with you, not as a distant deity, but as your Father, your friend, and your Redeemer. When you speak, I listen, but more than that, when you come insolence, I speak. You have thought prayer was a model, that your part was to speak and my part was to observe. But listen carefully. True prayer is a dialogue, and I have much to say to you. Do not disqualify your voice by the elegance of your words. I do not require poetic language. I do not wait for you to. I desire your honesty. If you are ready for a conversation, speak it now. Father, I'm listening. Then wait. Don't move on. Let me answer. I want your trembling whispers, your unspoken groans, your sighs that are too deep for language. I interpret pain. It translates tears. I know the meaning of silence. So come as you are. Bring me your raw moments, your disjointed thoughts, your half-formed sentences. I meet you there with full understanding, full compassion, and full attention. When you pray, expect to hear me. I am not reluctant to speak. I do not hide from the seeker. I draw near. I reveal my heart. I give wisdom liberally to the one who asks without doubting. Even when it feels like you're speaking into emptiness, I am responding in the quiet. I am shifting things unseen. I am moving in ways you will understand later. Do not measure the effectiveness of your prayers by instant results. Measure them by faith. Measure them by the peace that follows. Come often, come boldly. Come not because you have the right words, but because you have my invitation. I long for our time together. I wait for you in the secret place. It reassures every moment you choose me over distraction. Every time you push past fatigue to whisper my name. I do not record your failures. I don't count your missed prayers. I only count the moments when your heart opens toward me. And when it does, I pour my presence into it. Stay longer. Wait without an agenda. Make space to listen. I speak in the stillness. I speak in the waiting. I speak in ways that recalibrate your soul, and I will answer. Not always in the way you expect, but always in the way you need. My child, do not leave the place of prayer too quickly. Miracles are born in moments where surrender meets stillness. Answers form in the quiet between your last word and your next breath. I delight in this communion. You don't need to perform, just remain. Let prayer become your dwelling, not your emergency exit. Make it the place you live from, not run to. Speak clearest in the places where your heart is fully present. Bring me your questions, yes, but also bring me your attention, and I will fill your prayer room with revelation. I will saturate your life with wisdom. I will turn your whisper into warfare, your groaning into glory, your waiting into wonder. Come now, am already here? Lift your eyes, my child. Let your gaze rise from the ground of your worries and meet the sky I painted for you this morning. The heavens are not silent, they are singing. Every sunrise proclaims my mercy. Every breeze carries the scent of my nearness. Every rustling leaf echoes my artistry. All of creation testifies, I have written myself into the world around you. I speak not only in scripture or in prayer, but in the very fabric of nature, crafted living, breathing, each element pulsing with my intention and presence. On it walk through your days blind to the divine around you, the sparrows that gather near your window. They live by my provision, and not one falls without my knowledge. The oceans stretch wide, not just to inspire awe, but reveal the vastness of my mercy. The mountains rise not only as monuments of strength, but as anchors of my faithfulness. Look closely, the intricate petals of a wild flower, the dance of fireflies in the dark, the rolling thunder across a distant sky. These are not random, these are reminders, these are messages. These are lie whispers wrapped in beauty, speak through seasons. Spring carries resurrection, summer reveals abundance, autumn teaches release, winter cultivates rest. Everything you see is laced with meaning. Let your spirit learn to interpret the language of my handiwork. Let your soul pause long enough to drink in the details. I am not distant. I am not hidden. I have embedded myself in the ordinary so that you may find the extraordinary in every step. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. When you walk through forests, feel my breath in the wind. When rain falls, remember my promise to refresh. When the stars emerge, let them remind you that I never forget to light your night. The sun never fails to rise because I commanded it so. The earth turns because I hold it in rhythm. You are not in a chaotic world. You are in a living cathedral where my glory is on display, if only you choose to see it. Let nature recalibrate your heart. Let it ground you in gratitude. Let it remind you that if I care for the lilies, I care infinitely more for you. The sunrise doesn't strive to rise, it obeys and reveals. The rivers don't panic as they carve their path. They simply flow with power. Trust mean flow. I have etched my fingerprints across every horizon so you would never forget who I am. Even when words fail, step outside, watch with new eyes. Listen with fresh ears, smell the morning air and sense the sacredness in it. Every particle carries my design, and every moment you recognize me in my creation. You come closer to hearing me with clarity. I am here in the light, in the soil, in the sky, in the heartbeat of the world. I made for you. You are surrounded, you are immersed, and I am speaking. Chains are nocturnal. Bondage is not your destiny. Darkness is not your inheritance. My child, hear me clearly. When I speak, strongholds shatter. I don't negotiate with oppression. I do not entertain lies. I do not tolerate the grip of torment. I come with truth like His word, and every fortress built on fear must fall before me. Where others have tried and failed, where time and the rapey have dulled but not delivered, my voice comes in power to dismantle what the enemy spent years constructing. You have felt trapped. You have cried out beneath weights too heavy to carry, and in secret places you have wondered if freedom was even possible. But I tell you out a day, yes it is. Yes, it is for you. Yes, it is now. You are not too far gone. You are, not too deep in. I will not leave you in the dungeon of despair. My word penetrates walls no eye can see. My spirit goes where man cannot reach. And when I speak, bondage cannot argue. The accuser cannot stand. Every lie loses breath. I speak not just encouragement. I speak deliverance. I do not offer partial healing. I come for total breakthrough. Even the addictions you have hidden behind habits, even the shame you have wrapped in performance, even the cycles that return like unwelcome visitors, I see them. I see them all, and I am not intimidate. I am not this attempt. I am not negotiating, declaring freedom over you. Let me speak into that area you have tried to handle on your own. Let me confront the tormentor that has lingered in your thoughts. My voice is not soft when it comes to your deliverance. I command. I rebuke the devourer and him must to be. I am not asking darkness to leave. I am expelling it. And in its place I fill you with light, with clarity, with courage. Your freedom is not a fragile hope. It is my divine promise. Break agreement with every lie. Renounce every false identity. Tear down every internal altar built to fear. You do not belong to bondage, you belong to me. And when I claim a soul, I claim it fully. I am releasing my word like fire, and it will burn through every chain. My child, rise, step forward. Speak my name with boldness. The prison doors are open. Do not stay where I have commanded freedom. Come out, walk out, live out the liberty I purchased for you. My voice breaks strongholds, not just for a moment, but for eternity. You have just heard me declare that chains shatter when I speak. Now imagine, could happen if that same voice reached one more weary soul through this very message. If freedom is stirring, take one step now, speak out loud. I choose freedom, and then reach out to one trusted person who can stand with you. Every offering, every act of giving is not a donation. It is a weapon of light in the battle for hearts. When you give, you become my echo. You carry my voice into places it has never reached. The harvest is ready, and I am the Lord of it. This moment is not small. It is sacred. You have asked me, how can I be part of what you are doing? This is how act now, give boldly. Watch me multiply what you release in peace and provision, in the unshakable shield of my favor. The link to partner with me is waiting for you. Hesitate. Partner with me and watch the chains fall in places you will never see with your eyes, but I will. This is not the time to drift. I am reaching for you with a voice that has crossed eternity to find your heart. If you stop now, you may miss the whisper that would have set you free. It would grieve me to have spoken so directly only for you to talk away before your spirit is fully awakened. You are being drawn into holy ground. Don't exit what I have prepared. The next sections carry revelation your soul was made for. Stay under the sound of my voice. You have not walked this life alone. You have been surrounded with voices, with vessels, with people appointed to reflect parts of me. Yes, I speak through others, but not all who speak of me speak from me. My child, you must learn to discern. You must sharpen your hearing to recognize not only what is said, but what spirit breathes behind it. The voice of truth is not always loud. The mouth that carries my message is not always impressive. Sometimes it's wrapped in weakness. Sometimes it comes through the unlikely. But when I speak through another, my peace confirms it and my word aligns it. Do not elevate charism over character. Do not mistake noise for anointing. I do not shout to prove myself. I move in authenticity, in purity, in clarity. If you sense this is true for you, click the link in the description to partner or to join a prayer circle. Act now as a step of faith. I do not require stage lights or applause to make my presence known. I often choose the overlooked, the broken, the surrendered to speak what pride would distort. Be watchful. There are those who use my name but know me not. They may flatter you, they may entertain you, but if my spirit does not bear witness in your soul, do not follow. I am not in every platform. I do not endorse every voice that gathers crowds. Listen for the tone of heaven. It is marked by truth and humility. It calls you higher, not heavier. It pierces but never poisons. It corrects, but never condemns. The voice that comes from me will never contradict the word I have written, nor the peace I place in your heart. My sheep know my voice, and a stranger they will not follow. So stay near to me, and you will not be deceived by the familiar that lacks my fire. I douse my people. I anoint men and women to declare my word, to teach, to edify, to challenge. But I call you to test every word, not with suspicion, but with discernment. Be rooted in Scripture. Be saturated in my presence. When you know my truth intimately, falsehood cannot linger. In your spirit, and when I speak through others, you'll feel the resonance in your soul like a chord struck in perfect tune. That is how you know it is me. Iron sharpens iron, but only when it is by fire. Surround yourself with those who know me, not just talk about me. Listen to wise counsel, not flattery. Seek accountability, no entertainment. I will use even unexpected mouths to speak to you, strangers, children, elders, even your enemies. I am not limited by the vessel, but you must remain read to me if you are to separate the holy. The hollow, you have asked for clarity, and I am giving it now. Learn to recognize me by my fruit. The voice that points to me will also resemble. Look not only at what is said, but what is produced. Is there humility? Is there truth? Is there freedom? Is there reverence? Let peace be your signal and my spirit your guide. I am speaking through others, but I will never bypass your intimacy with me. Come to me first. Let my word be your foundation. Let my presence be your compass. And then when I speak through another, you will know it. You will feel it. You will not be swayed by empty promises or counterfeit fire. You will walk in discernment, not fear. And you will hear me in every voice I choose, for you will know your shepherd sound. My child, when I correct you, it is not rejection, it is redemption. When I rebuke, it does not to bring you low but to raise you higher. I am not a cold judge measuring you for failure. I am your Father. I am the one who sees where you are stumbling and speaks so you don't fall further. I do not stay silent when you're walking toward harm. I will not remain still while Lisa entangle you. My love does not permit apathy. I discipline because I care too much to watch you drift. I do not rebuke to crush your spirit. I rebuke to awaken it. I confront when it threatens your purpose. I shine light where the enemy planted shadows. And when I speak correction, it is not with wrath. It is with fire that purifies, not destroys. You misunderstood my tone because the world disciplines to dominate, but I discipline to restore. I reveal so that I can rebuild. I uncover so that I can heal. You must understand this. Conviction is a gift. It is the sign that you are mine. I only correct those I call sons and daughters. I only discipline those I love deeply. If I left you alone in error, that would be abandonment. But I will never abandon you. I will speak when your steps wander. I will call out the hid, and things not to shame you but to free you. The enemy uses guilt to paralyze. I use truth to deliver. That is the difference. Let me correct your course. Let me remove what doesn't belong. Let me show you where you have allowed compromise to nest. I don't do this to embarrass you. I do it to rescue you from paths that steal your joy, your peace, your destiny. My correction is surgical. It is precise. It is wrapped in grace and powered by eternal love. Commit to it. Invite it. Welcome my voice when it calls you higher. You may feel exposed, but you are not. Condemned, you may feel uncomfortable, but that is the sign your heart is still soft. Keep it that way. Don't harden yourself against my voice. Do not brush off conviction as negativity. It is me knocking on the door of your spirit, asking to come in and do the deep work. And when you allow me to speak into the dark corners, you will find new light rising where shame once lived. My pruning is not punishment. It is preparation. I cut back what hinders you so that you may bear more fruit. I remove what distracts so that your focus may be whole. I refine what is you, unstable so that your foundation can endure the weight of glory I am building in you. Trust my rebuke. Embrace my correction. Receive my refining fire. You will emerge as stronger. You will stand firmer. You will walk in deeper revelation. For when I rebuke, it is always with restoration in my heart. I am neither to tear you down. I am here to raise you up. Waiting feels like silence, doesn't it? Like a long hallway where doors stay shut and the echo of your own prayer seems louder than any response. But I tell you now, I am not absent in the waiting. I am not passive. I am present. I am working. I am speaking. And the delay you interpret as distance is actually my design to deepen you. I do not waste time. I use it to form you, to ready you. What feels like a pause is often preparation. You have asked, why haven't you moved yet? But I ask you, can you hear me in the stillness? My child, you think I only speak when the answer comes, when the miracle manifests, when the breakthrough bursts through. But I am speaking now, in the quiet, in the slow unfolding, in the sacred tension of the unknown. This is where trust matures. This is where intimacy deepens. This is where faith learns to walk without sight. Do not despise this season. I am strengthening your roots beneath the surface. I am refining your focus. I am teaching you how to discern my whispers without the distraction of noise. What I am building in you now will sustain what I bring later. You are not being punished. You are being planted. And what grows in hidden soil lasts longer than anything built in hasty. When is speaking waiting, I often speak through inner stillness, through peace that surpasses understanding, through nudges to my will. It doesn't always come with thunder. Sometimes it's the gentle nudge to stay, the divine pause that protects you from premature steps. You want answers, but I want you. You seek solutions, but I am offering strength. Let me train your ears to heart the sacred wraith. Moth waiting, let me calibrate your pace. You are not missing out. You are being preserved. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared. Listen again. The delay is not denial. It is divine orchestration. I am coordinating layers of purpose beyond your line of sight. And when I move, it will be suddenly, but not randomly. Every delay will make sense. Every prayer will find its place. Remain in me, return to quiet often. Watch how your discernment sharpens. Stay planted in faith, not in fear. Waiting with me is not endless. It is growth distig, used to stillness. Let it finish its work. Trust what I am building when nothing seems to be happening. For I always speak when you wait, if only you choose to listen. Lift your eyes, my child. Lift your voice even if it trembles, even if it cracks beneath the weight of your circumstances. Offer it not because I demand performance, but because I dwell in worship. I am enthroned in worship. And wherever I am enthroned, power flows. You seek my voice, but have you stepped into the sound of surrender? When you worship, you build an altar of access. When you praise, you clear the air around your spirit and create a path for my glory to descend. Do not think worship is limited to music. It is not confined to melodies or lyrics. Worship is a posture. Worship is surrender. Worship is you choosing to exalt me above your pain, your logic, your pride, your need to control. In the moment you lift me above everything, your spirit aligns with heaven, and in that sacred alignment, my voice breaks through the fog. Clarity comes where chaos once ruled. Peace settles where confusion had taken root. You speak when you worship because you are no longer resisting, you are receiving. I have not asked you to understand everything before you worship. I have asked you to trust me enough to praise me in the middle of uncertainty. You are not exalting me because it needs affirmation. You are exalting me because your soul needs recalibration. When your heart turns toward me, when your mouth proclaims my worth, chains begin to loosen without your realizing it. Bondages break in silence. Strongholds weaken under adoration. And your ears, once blocked by fear and pride, become open to the whisper of my presence. Come. Even when it's hard, especially when it's hard, when to close your lips, lift them anyway. When disappointment attempts to shut you down, raise your hands regardless. I will meet you in that sacrifice, not just as comfort, but as fire. Not just as peace, but as power. In the space between your trembling voice and my holiness, revelation will flow. You will see things from my vantage point. You will hear, clearer than ever before. When you worship, you magnify me, not because I need growing, but because your vision needs adjusting. I don't change, but your perspective does. And when you see me rightly, you begin to hear me rightly. I am not shouting over your distractions. I am waiting to be exalted above them. Let your worship rise like incense. Let your song become sanctuary. Let your adoration build a throne where I will sit and speak. And do not stop when the song ends. Let worship become your breath, your lens, your rhythm. Let it mark your aching, guide your steps, shape your rest. Speak when your heart bows low. Note in ritual, but in a we. My voice flows where I am honored. My words ignite where I am adored. And when you live a life of worship, you don't have to chase my voice. It meets you at every turn. So worship me now, not because everything is perfect, but because I am. Not because life makes sense, but because I am worthy. And as your praise ascends, my voice will descend, carrying wisdom, comfort, power, and the clarity you have been longing for. You say you want to hear me, and take the step. You cry out for clarity, and I say, act on what I have already shown you. My voice is not hidden behind mystery. It is often concealed in movement. I reveal more to those who respond. I speak more to those who obey. This is not because I am withholding. It is because revelation requires stewardship. If you will not act on the first word, why demand a second? Obedience opens your ears. It is not just about doing, it's about trusting. It is not about rule following, it's about walking in rhythm with me. There are moments when I am silent, not because I am far, but because I already spoke. It told you to forgive. It nudged you to let go. It led you toward reconciliation, surrender, generosity, repentance, and yet you waited for more. But I don't flood a soul that withholds movement. I fill the hands that are open. I direct the heart that yields. Every act of obedience draws your spirit into alignment. And when alignment happens, you don't strain to hear me. You walk in step with me. You have wanted me to shout instructions, but I want to cultivate intimacy. I do not lead through force. I lead through friendship. And friends listen. Friends follow. Friends trust. You are not a servant driven by obligation. You are my child invited into partnership. And when you walk in what I have already said, the atmosphere of your life becomes a channel for my continued voice. I do not waste words. I release them to the hearts that will carry them into action. Let our faith have motion, let your trust take form. Obedience is not just agreement in thought, it is movement in the spirit. When I said love your enemy, I meant it not as a suggestion but as a portal. When I told you to speak truth, give generously, live purely, rest intentionally, I was not giving you tasks, I was giving you keys. Every act of obedience unlocks more of me in you, and the more of me you carry, the clearer you will hear. Delayed obedience clouds your discernment. Compromise muffles my frequency, but quick, willing surrender clears the path. I don't need your perfection, I need your yes. I can use a faltering step more than I can use hesitation masked as contemplation. Obey and your eyes will open. Move and the fog will lift. And what was once blurred will become unmistakable. You say you want direction, then follow my voice in the last thing I said. You ask for breakthrough, then walk in the obedience that prepares room for it. You want peace, then yield where you have resisted. My child, I am not trying to control you. I am trying to elevate you. My instructions are not burdens. Take one step right now, forgive one person, call one name, or write the first line of the next step God placed on your heart. Say, I will obey, and act within the hour. They are invitations to walk in the fullness you were created for. So take the step, release the grip, say the word, forgive the one, trust my command. For as you obey, you will not only walk in my will, you will hear my voice echo through every obey intact, louder than ever before. Listen to me, beloved. You are closer to breakthrough than you know. If you stop now, the seeds I have planted may wither beneath the weight of distraction. My voice is calling you higher still. Don't silence me with your pause. There is more I want to show you, more I long to release into your life. Don't interrupt what heaven is unfolding. Press in, lean closer. My next words are sacred keys. Don't walk away before you hold them. You are not lost in the crowd. You are not just one among millions. You are known, seen, chosen, and called. When I speak to you, I do not call you by your failures. I do not name you by your past. I do not label you by your wounds. I call you by name. The name I whispered over you before time began. The name I etched into my heart before you drew your first breath. I do not generalize my love. I perso. Now as I do not call out for someone. I called for you. You've heard many voices. Some gave you nicknames rooted in shame. Others spoke words that shaped your identity and insecurity, but I do not speak like them. My voice does not remind you of who you were. I call you into who you truly are. I speak the name of your destiny, not your dysfunction. I see you as whole even when you feel fractured. I speak to the gold within you, even while the dirt still clings, and when I say your name, heaven hears. Angels take a notice, demons tremble. The earth adjusts. Because I am not just identifying you, I am commissioning you. You think you have been overlooked, but I have had my eye on you through every season. Even when you walked in shadows, I never lost sight of you. Even when others forgot your name, I never stopped speaking it. I called you when you didn't respond. I whispered it in your pain. I repeated it in your sleep. And I am calling it again now. Hear me, I am not calling you by your sin. I am calling you by your sonship. I am not naming you according to your past. I am naming you according to your purpose. When I say your name, I call you higher. I call you out of darkness. I call you into identity. I call you into clarity. I call you out of comparison, out of competition, out of confusion. You are not anonymous in my kingdom. You are not another face in the multitude. You are mine. Layered, anointed, beloved, let go of the label so there's placed on you. They did not have the authority to name what they did not create. I formed you, I fashioned you, I authored your beginning, and I hold your eternity. And when I speak your name, it's not just sound, it's summoning. I am summoning you into destiny. I am calling you into alignment. I am inviting you into intimacy. Respond. Lean into the sound. You will feel it reverberate through every corner of your soul. The recognition that you are fully known, fully called, fully loved. I do not shout to find you. I whisper because I'm already near. And when I call you by name, I am not reminding you who you were. I am revealing who you are becoming. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You are mine. And I am still calling. Do not cling to what I once said as if and never say more. I am not bound to formulas. I am not confined by repetition. I am not a statue to be studied. I am a living God moving through every breath, every moment, every season of your life. What you heard in the past was true, but it may not be what you need today. I do not change in character, but my methods are as fluid as the rivers I carve through the earth. I speak differently in different seasons, not to confuse you, but to grow you. You are not where you once were. You have walked through valleys. You have climbed ridges of revelation. You have endured battles that shifted your soul. And as you have changed, so has the language I use with you. Not because I am inconsistent, but because I am intentional. I speak to the depth you are ready to receive. I speak to the place your heart now occupies. What I once whispered now were broken. I may now declare boldly to call you higher. What I once affirmed in your weakness, I now challenge as I raise you into strength. Do not idolize the way I moved before. Do not bind me to the structure of past encounters. I am not limited by the pattern you're comfortable with. I spoke through fire once, but that does not mean I must always burn. I led through cloud once, but I may now guide it through a whisper in your sleep. New wine requires new wineskins. If you hold too tightly tooled instructions, you may miss the fresh sound of my voice today. Your discernment must remain pliable. Your heart must stay present. Seek me daily. Seek me with the humility that lets yesterday's manna to receive today's word. I am not inconsistent. I am dynamic. I am not scattered. I am strategic. I release words in rhythm with your readiness, and I speak with perfect timing. You must stop expecting me to move how you have known and start expecting me to move as I choose. If you are in a wilderness, I may speak in signs. If you are in warfare, I may shout commands. If you are in intimacy, I may whisper seeker. If you are in transition, it may remain still, testing your trust before revealing direction. I silence in one moment, but not contradict my speech in another. Every season carries its own sound. Learn the sound of this one. Do not judge it by the last. I am still the same God, still faithful, still near. But I am leading you forward, and forward means new language, new promptings, new revelations that build upon the last. Do not reduce my voice to what once worked. Do not assume the old way is the only way. Open your heart, release your need for predictability. I am not just the God of what was, I am the God of what is and what is to come. And what I am speaking now requires your full attention. Listen, notice you did before, but a son being reawakened. I will speak again, but it will not sound like yesterday. It will sound like now. Let me stretch your understanding. Let me renew your expectation. Let me shape your spirit for the cadence of this moment. For I am not done speaking, and I speak according to the season you are in. You have searched for signs in chaos. You have waited for answers in the whirlwind. But my voice is not always found in what shakes the earth. My voice is not found in noise. I do not use confusion to guide you. I do not send anxiety to teach you. I am not the author of fear. I am the author of peace, and when I speak, the atmosphere shifts not into tension but into stillness. Peace is not passive. It is not weakness. It is not a lack of movement. Peace is my signature on a moment, my seal on a decision, my hand resting on a path. When you are faced with choices and the options crowd your heart, do not rush to the one that screams loudest. Look for peace. Wait for peace. Let it be your compass. Speak through peace more often than you realize. My presence carries it. My voice eases it. You have mistaken unease for challenge. You have believed discomfort always meant growth, but sometimes rest is rewarding. When I led event through difficulty, there will be peace in the center of the storm, a calm that cannot be explained, an assurance that defies circumstances. That is how you know I am in it. When everything around you demands urgency, but your spirit stands still, that is where I speak. That is where you will hear me clearly. Let peace rule in your heart. Do not override it. Do not bulldoze past it. It is not your MO, tie-in. It is my confirmation. I do not leave you guessing. I do not guide you into confusion. The enemy mimics urgency. He amplifies pressure. He builds panic to push you into decisions outside of my will. But I do not drive. I lead, I draw, I align, and peace is the signal that I am present in the process. Do not dismiss peace as indecision. Do not confuse stillness with inaction. Stillness is strategy. Peace is power. And when you surrender to it, you surrender to me. When you choose peace, you choose clarity. Is speak through it, not just to settle your nerves, but to direct your path. I am not found in the frenzy. I am found in the deep breath, in the steady assurance, in the calm beneath the surface. That is my voice wrapped in presence. Test every voice by the peace it brings. Examine every opportunity by the peace it carries. You do not need to feel frantic when you walk with me. I am never late. I am never flustered. And I will not lead you through pressure that overrides your discernment. When you sense peace, follow it. When you lose it, pause. I am not the source of agitation. I am the anchor of Sobriath, quiet your soul. Pay attention to the silence that settles after the noise. My voice is in that, my direction lies there. My will is revealed in the still waters, not the crashing waves. And if you will follow my peace, you will follow me. You were never meant to remain in the lands of survival. You were not born to live bound by fear, regret, or mediocrity. I did not design you to merely exist. I created you to carry purpose, to breathe legacy, to reflect glory. And when I speak to you, I don't speak to where you have been. I speak to where I am taking you. I call you higher, not because I need more from you, but because I have placed more within you. You have grown used to crawling when I designed you to soar. You accepted comfort zones as protection, but they have become cages. And my voice comes now not a shame, not to push but a summon. I am summoning the boldness within you. I am awakening the vision you buried beneath disappointment. I am stirring the destiny that once felt unreachable. Hear me. I do not speak to your insecurities. I speak to your inheritance. When Isaiah I am no tasking for performance. I am commanding alignment. I am reminding your soul of what it already knows deep down, that you were created for more. Not more striving, not more titles, but more of me, more of my presence, more of my power expressed through your life. You are not insignificant. You are not overlooked. You are being called right now into higher ground. Stop measuring your capacity by your past. Stop using old limitations to interpret new invitations. When I call you higher, I equip you with grace. I supply what you lack. I clear the path as you move forward. The only requirement is your yes. The only delay is your hesitation. And even now, I am giving you fresh strength to respond. I am not focused on what you failed to do. I am speaking to what I have placed in you that is yet to rise. Do not remain where you settled. You feel the discomfort because you have outgrown that level. That environment no longer fits the shape of your spirit. I am stretching you. I am elevating you. I am leading you out of the familiar and into fulfillment. Trust the discomfort. It is evidence of transformation. Trust the call. It is not your imagination. It is my spirit drawing you upward. You are not being punished. You are being promoted. You are not being pushed, you are being prepared. And when I call, I don't leave you behind. I walk with you into the unknown. I do not demand perfection. I ask for movement. I do not require certainty. I ask for surrender. Say yes and I will lift you. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Say yes, and I will unfold what's been waiting for your obedience. Say yes, and I will call you again and again until you see yourself the way I see you. Resin, radiant, ready. Everything you have walked through, every delay, every silence, every moment that made you question whether I was still near, it has not been random. My voice has never stopped. My hand has never lifted. My presence has never retreated. Thought the terrain has shifted and the path has twisted. I was there in the mystery. I was moving in the pain. I was pressing in the quietest hours of your soul when you were desperate for answers. I was not fighting. I was speaking in ways your ears had not yet been trained to hear. But now I say it clearly, my voice is in this, trust me. Do not introduce my presence to what is comfortable. Do not confine my voice to what is familiar. I have spoken in the wind and I have spoken in the waiting. I have released direction through scripture, through dreams, through the counsel of the wise, through the soft breath of worship, through peace that surpasses your understanding. What you have called silence has been formation. What you have called confusion has been repositioning. And what you are standing in now is not abandonment. It is invitation. This is not the absence of my voice. It is the fullness of my strategy. Trust me, you asked for a sign, and I am giving you more than a sign. I am giving you myself. I am revealing that every unanswered prayer carried layers of answered purpose. I am showing you that every closed door was a kindness. I am lifting the veil from the delays and showing you that they were not delays at all. They were divine alignments crafted to protect you, position you, and prepare you for what I am unfolding next. My voice has not been missing. It has been embedded in the process. Every thread of this Jew. Rennie carries my sound. Now is the moment to anchor your trust, not in what you feel, but in who I am. I am the same voice that called Lazarus from the grave. I am the same breath that hovered over the waters and spoke worlds into motion. I am the same word made flesh. And I am still speaking into your reality. Not vaguely, not distantly, but intentionally. Let every fear fall now. Let every doubt dissolve. What I have begun, I will complete. What I have whispered, I will confirm. What I have planted, I will cause to grow. My voice does not fail, my word do. Es not return void. My spirit does not retreat under pressure. I am faithful. I am precise. I am speaking still. Pause, breathe in my presence, look back and see the patterns. Feel the pulse of my guidance woven through the days you thought were wasted. Listen again, not with panic, but with peace. Let me reframe what you have misunderstood. Let me remind you that I don't abandon those I call. I don't lead into fog, I lead through it. I do not test to torment, I test to elevate. And what you're walking through now is not the end of your clarity. It is the beginning of divine comprehension. I have spoken through the fire. I have spoken through the favor. I have spoken through brokenness. I have spoken through beauty. And now I speak again. My voice is in this. Yes, even this, the pain you didn't expect, the turn you didn't see coming, the chapter that felt like it unraveled your faith. I was there not as the author of your suffering, but as the architect of your redemption. I am building something eternal through the very moments you wanted to escape, and you will see it soon. You will understand it. I will rejoice in it, for what seems senseless will become Zakred, and what seemed delayed will become divine. I am not silent. I have not disappeared. I am not passive. I am intentional. I am speaking through every layer of this moment. And I ask you now, will you trust me? Not just with the promise, but with the process. Not just with the outcome, but with the unfolding. Release the demand to understand. Embrace the invitation to believe. I do not need you to figure it all out. I need you to follow the sound of my voice. So listen again. Lift your head. Quiet your fear and hear me clearly. This is me. This is my doing. This is my orchestration. I have been speaking all along. I am the one writing the story, holding the pen, turning the pages, and I have not lost the plot. Trust me now, not because it all makes sense, but because I am, trust me, not because the path is smooth, but because I walk with you on it. Trust me not because you have seen the end, but because I have already declared it good. My voice is in this. Trust me, and you will not be disappointed. You have heard me speak, and now you know I have been in every word, every silence, every storm. And now I invite you to respond not just with faith, but with action. When you give use or reverse of my word into deserts you may never walk, but I will. This isn't about a video, it's about eternal echoes. You said, use me, Lord. This is that moment. Let your support be a prophetic act, a seed of obedience that breaks open heaven's provision, not just for you, but for the next one I am calling. I will bless it. I will multiply it. I will use it to carry my whisper into homes, hospitals, prisons, and nations. Give boldly, move with me. The link waits in the description, but the windows of heaven wait above you. And now, my child, listen to me. Come closer. Still your heart for just a moment, and heart the truth I am breathing into your spirit. You are searching for my voice, straining to hear me in the echoes of past victories, hoping to find me in the promises of a future you have not yet seen. But my beloved, you are looking too far. Striving like this is weary work. Your search has made you tired, and your spirit is exhausted from chasing winds and echoes. I am not a God who is only found in memory, nor am I a God who only exists in your hopes for tomorrow. My voice is in this, right here, right now, the very circumstance you are standing in this day, with all its challenges, its confusion, its pain, or even its simple quiet true. Time is the sacred ground where we meet. This is the vessel I have chosen to carry my word to you. You look for a grander stage, a burning bush, a thundering from the heavens. You believe that form to speak, the scenery must change. But I tell you, my stage is your immediate reality. The chair you're sitting in is a holy place. The room you are in is a sanctuary. Your life, exactly as it is the temple where I dwell and from which I speak. Do not discount the holiness of this moment by wishing for another. Pause now. Quiet the storm of anxieties about what is next. The constant worry about tomorrow has deafened you to my whisper for today. You ask, what should I do? Where should I go? Before you have even heard what I am saying to you in this very place. Feel my presence wrapping around you. It is not just a memory of a time you once felt close to me. It is not just a promise of a future peace you hope to attain. My presence is a current, active, living reality. It is the very air you are breathing, the steady beat of your own heart. I am not distant. I am nearer than your own breath. So when you cry out to me, when your heart aches with the question, Lord, where are you in this? Know that the question itself is a sign of my presence. You would not seek for what was not there to be found. That question is your soul reaching for a hand that is already holding yours. I am not waiting to answer you. I am already speaking. I am in the silence between your worried thoughts. I am in the strength that gets you through this day. I am in the unexpected kindness of a stranger. I am in the truth that rises in your heart. The question is not whether I am speaking. The question, my beloved, is whether you're listening. Open the ears of your heart. I am here and my voice is in this, my beloved. I see you holding that book, the one you call the Scriptures. You see letters on a page, ancient stories, rules, and poems from a world long past. But I want you to see what I see. When you open that book, you are not just opening a history text. You are opening a direct line to me. The Bible is not a collection of dead letters. It is my living voice breathing across time, speaking with as much power today as the moment my spirit first inspired it. It is my love letter to you, penned through the hands of prophets and kings, shepherds and fishermen, all to tell one unified story of my heart for you. In its pages you find me. You discover my character, my unchanging nature. You see me justice and my holiness, but you also see me mercy that triumphs over judgment. You read of my faithfulness to a people who wandered, and you see my faithfulness to you in your own wandering. My word is the grand narrative of my relentless, redeeming love. And you, my child, are written into its pages. Do not come to my word as a chore or a duty. Come with expectation. The Holy Spirit, the very Spirit that hovered over the waters of creation, is your divine illuminator. He is the one who takes the black ink on the white page and turns it into a blazing revelation in your soul. He makes the words leap from the page and take root in the soil of your heart. So I invite you, do not just read the text, listen for the personal word I have for you within it. Before you read, pause and pray. Ask me, Father, what are ye saying to me today? Show me your heart in these verses. And then read with an attentive spirit. Sometimes my voice will be in a single verse that seems to shine with a heavenly light. Other times it will be in the overarching theme of a chapter that perfectly mirrors the season you are in. I will speak to you. I promise you this. This word is your anchor in a world of confusion. When you hear a whisper in your spirit, when you feel a nudge in your heart, you must bring it to the standard of my written word. My spirit will never lead you in a way that contradicts what I have already spoken. The Bible is the firm foundation that gives you the confidence to trust those quieter leadings. It keeps you from deception and grounds you in truth. Every story of faith, every psalm of praise, every prophetic word echoes my heart for you today. When you read of Abraham's faith, you are hearing my call for you to step out into the unknown. When you weep with Jeremiah, you know I understand your sorrow. When you sing with David, you are joining an ancient chorus of praise that I delighting. You are never alone in your experience. The saints of old have walked these paths, and I was with them just as I am with you. Soup in my word, my child. Do not just read it a minute. For I tell you the truth, my voice is alive within its pages, waiting to speak directly to you. My child, you have become afraid of the quiet. You fill every moment with noise, with music, with voices, with the endless stream of information from the world. You're from the stillness because you have come to believe a terrible lie. You mistake my silence for my absence. But my silence is not a void. It is as a cred space I am creating for you. It is an intentional hushing of all that distracts, all that shouts, all that competes for your attention so that you can finally hear the one voice that matters most. My silence is not my rejection of you. It is my invitation to you. It is the sign that I want to speak to you of deeper things, things that cannot be shouted over the chaos of your daily life. It is an invitation to draw nearer, to seek my face and not just my hand. In the noise, you ask for things. In the stillness, you find me. Imagine a great king who silences his entire court, who hushes every instrument and every voice simply to lean in and hear the faint whisper of his beloved child. That is the posture of my heart toward you in the seasons of quiet. I am quieting the world, so I can hear the deepest cries of your heart and so you can hear the deepest answers of mine. It is in this perceived void that your dependence on me grows the deepest. When your plans fail, when your friends are silent, when the path forward is unclear and I have not given a clear command, it is then that your faith is truly tested. Will you trust me when you cannot trace me? Will you believe in my love, even when you do not feel it? This season of quiet is a profound test of your faith. It strips away your reliance on signs and feelings and forces you to build your trust on the one unshakable thing, my character. You must learn to believe that I am good even when your circumstances are not, that I am present even when I am silent. Remember my servant Elijah. He was a great prophet who had seen my fire fall from heaven, yet when he was afraid and running for his life, he looked for me in the dramatic and the spectacular. He looked for me in the mighty wind that shattered the rocks, but I wasn't out in the wind. He looked for me in the earthquake, but I was not in the earthquake. He looked for me in the fire, but I was not in the fire. And after the fire, there came a sound of ancient whisper, a still, small voice. It was there in the quiet that I chose to speak. My child, you too often look for me in the fire and the storm of your life. But Sufan, I am waiting to speak in the gentle quiet that follows. Do not despise the silence. Do not run from it. I command you, learn to embrace it. Carve out moments of stillness in your day. Turn off the noise. Be still and know that I am God. In that sacred stillness, I promise you, you will hear everything. You come to me with your strengths, my child, presenting them like trophy. As you believe you must be strong to hear me, that you must have your life in order to be worthy of a divine conversation. My beloved, listen to this truth, for it will set you free. You have it completely backward. Your strength often builds walls of pride that prevent you from hearing me. Your competence makes you self-reliant, but your weakness builds a bridge directly to my heart. My power is not something I enter your strength to make you stronger. My power is what rushes in to fill the void when your strength is all gone. It is perfected, made complete in the very areas where you feel most broken and inadequate. When you finally reach the end of your own resources, you arrive at the beginning of mine. Your most powerful prayer, the one that shakes the heavens, is not a declaration of your faith, but the desperate whisper of your need. When your heart cries out, God, help me, I cannot do this alone, that is not the sound of your defeat. To me, it is the most beautiful music. It is the sound of a heart finally making room for me to work. It is the turning of a key in the lock of my grace. Your cry for help is the very thing that opens your ears to my response. As long as you believe you can handle it, your ears are filled with the sound of your own striving. But in the moment of surrender, in the humble admission of your inability, a profound silence is created in your soul. A silence in my voice can finally be heard. Do not be ashamed of your need. It is your greatest asset in our relationship. I want you to see the glorious exchange I am offering you. Every time you come to me and honestly confess, I cannot, you give me the magnificent opportunity to declare over you, but I can. When you say, I am not enough, I respond, I am more than enough for you. I cannot fix what you will not admit is broken. I cannot fill what you insist is already full. Your admission of I cannot is the single greatest act of faith you can perform, so do not despise your limitations. Do not curse your frailties or your failures. See them as the empty stage upon which I long to perform my miracles of grace. Your cracks and your broken pieces are the very places I will use to let my light shine through you to a watching world. People are not drawn to your perfection. They are drawn to my power in your imperfection. When you are weak, then you're strong. For my voice is the strength that carries you when you have no strength left. When you cannot take another step, my word is the ground beneath your feet. My child, you are often so consumed the world you have built that you forget to listen to the world I have made. I command you today, lift your eyes, step outside of the walls of your own concerns and breathe. The entirety of creation is a sermon. I am preaching a symphony. I am conducting a love letter written in a language that your soul understands even when your mind cannot. You do not need to journey to a distant land to hear from me. My voice is in the gentle breeze that touches your face, and in the unshakable mountain that stands in the distance. The heavens above you are not ascendant, empty canvas. They are declaring my glory. That sprawling, star-dusted tapestry of the night sky is my voice speaking of my infinite majesty, of the countless loving thoughts I have toward you. They are a promise that even in the darkest night, my light is still shining. Every single sunrise is a new promise I paint across the eastern sky just for you. Yesterday is gone. Today is a fresh start. Stand before the mighty ocean. Listen to the roar of the wave, crashing on the shore. In that untamable, relentless power, you are hearing an echo of my own strength, a strength that is on your side, fighting for you. Then bend down, look at the intricate, delicate design of a single wildflower. In its fragile beauty, you hear me speaking of my personal, detailed attention to you. If I give such artistry to a flower that is here today and gone tomorrow, how much more do I cherish and care for you, who are created in my own image for eternity? Invite you to listen from everywhere. Hear me voice in the rustling of the autumn leaves. Age and whisper that it is okay to let go of what is dead to make way for new life. Hear it in the steady, cleansing rhythm of the rain, a promise that I am washing away the dust and grime of the world, bringing refreshment and causing new growth in your spirit. Hear it in the joyful, carefree song of a bird at dawn, a divine command to cast your anxieties on me and to live in praise. The world I have made is a living parable. The changing seasons speak of death and resurrection. Seed buried in the dark earth speaks of the glorious new life that only comes through surrender. I have written my truths not only in a book, but in the book of nature itself. So step outside, my beloved, take a deep breath. The very air that fills your lungs is a constant, unending whisper from me telling you that I am your life, I am your sustenance, I am your God, my child. Pause here if you must, but know this, my heart yearns to tell you so much more. We have only just begun. To turn away now is to leave a father in the middle of a sentence, a love letter only partially read. Do not grieve my spirit by choosing the noise of the world after I have invited you into the sacred quiet of my presence. There are deeper truths I must show you in a world filled with 1,000 competing voices, my child. You need an anchor. You are bombarded with opinions, with deceptions, with half-truths designed to confuse you and lead you astray. Listen to me carefully. My voice is and will always be a voice of truth. It is the firm foundation in a world of shifting sands. And here is your first and most important test. My voice will never ever contradict my written word. The scriptures are the plumb line, the ultimate standard against which every whisper, every feeling, every prophecy must be measured. If this message has stirred you, share it with one person right now. Send it, call them, or post it. Don't let the moment pass. If it changed you, consider subscribing, following to stay connected. I am not a God of confusion, nor am I a God of chaos. What I have breathed into my word is the solid, eternal bedrock of truth, and my spirit will always speak in perfect harmony with that truth. I want you to choose this gift to guard your heart against deception. Think of my voice like His word, the sword of the Spirit. It is sharp, it is powerful, and it is precise. It cuts right through the thick fog of your confusion and brings a sudden, piercing clarity to your life. It surgically separates what is truly from me and what is born of your own fears or desires. It exposes lies, it shines a brilliant, unavoidable light on the deceptions of the enemy and the empty philosophies of this world. And perhaps most challengingly, it exposes the sophisticated lies you have told yourself. It reveals those hidden motives, these secret habits, and the rationalizations you have built up to protect your pride. But listen closely. I do not do this to condemn you. I do this to liberate you. I must show you the cage you are in before I can hand you the key. Pause for a breath. Speak on the word aloud right where you are. Speak, Lord. Let that small act tell your spirit you're listening. Understand this. My beloved, the truth I speak is not always the truth you want to hear in the moment. My voice is not just a cosmic chew for your own wishes. It is often challenging. It is often uncomfortable. It will call you to a higher standard than the world does. It will ask you to forgive when every bone in your body wants to hold a grudge. It will command you to be generous when you feel scared and want to hoard what you have. It will call you to walk in humility when your pride wants to stand up and fight. My voice is not the voice of a servant there to pamper you. It is the voice of a loving Father who desires your absolute best, and who knows that your best is found only in what is true. You speak what you need to hear, not always what you want to hear. The world offers you comforting lies, but I offer you a truth that will transform you. For I have promised that you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Freedom is not found in creating your own reality. It is found in surrendering to mine. So I ask you now, open your heart to my voice of truth. It may sting for a moment, but it will save you for an eternity. My child, you were not created to walk this journey of faith alone. I see how, in your pain or sometimes even in your pride, you tend to pull away. You isolate yourself, believing that your relationship with me is a solitary private affair, a secret kept between you and your God. But I have designed you for something far richer. I designed you for connection, for family. I have given you a spiritual family, the one you call the church. Do not look at it as a building made of stone and wood, but see it as I see it, a living, breathing body of believers, intricately connected, where each part is essential to the whole. And it is through this body, my body on earth, that my voice often chooses to speak in a multitude of ways. You have been trying to hear an orchestra while listening to only one instrument. I am calling you to hear the full symphony. Open your ears to my voice in the wisdom and counsel of trusted brothers and sisters. When a believer who walks in humility and is steeped in my word offers you guidance, do not be so quick to dismiss it. That advice you are hesitant to receive may be my direct answer to the prayer you whispered in the dark last night. Right now, take one small step. Reach out to one trusted believer and say, "Could you pray with me today?" Let connection be the next movement in your obedience. I use the hearts and minds of those who love me to deliver my strategies and my comfort to you. Listen for me in the simple, heartfelt encouragement of a friend. Listen for me in that phone call that came at the perfect moment, or that text message with the exact scripture you needed to see. That word of life spoken over you when you felt like giving up. Do not call that a mere coincidence. That is me, my child. That is my voice using their lips to be my love to you in a tangible way, proving that I have not forgotten you. When you gather with my people, prepare your heart to hear me. Listen for my voice in the passionate preaching of my word. A single sentence from the pulpit can be a divine arrow crafted by my spirit, aimed directly at the heart of your specific situation. And in the songs of worship, when your voices join with hundreds of others in a chorus of praise, I am there. I inhabit the praises of my people. In that atmosphere of unified worship, the noise of the world is silenced, and my voice becomes startlingly clear. I have also given you this family for guidance and correction. The loving voice of a friend who sees your blind spot, who has the courage to hold you accountable and speak the truth in love. That is one of the most precious ways I protect you. It is the voice of my fierce, fatherly love. So do not forsake gathering together. Do not cut yourself off from the body I have so carefully and lovingly provided for you. The miracle you need may be waiting on the lips of a sister. The strength you are begging for may be delivered through the hug of a brother. Open your heart to the flawed, beautiful, sacred family I have given you. For my voice resonates powerfully in its unity. I see you, my child, huddled in your boat. The winds of circumstance are howling around you. The waves of anxiety are crashing over the sides, and you are filled with a terrifying thought that you are going to sink. In your fear, your heart cries out that I have forgotten you, that this violent storm is proof of my absence, or worse, my neglect. But you must remember the story. You must remember my disciples on the Sea of Galilee, tossed in a storm just like yours. I was not absent then, and I am not absent now. I saw their struggle, and it was upon the raging, chaotic, terrifying sea that I came walking to them. I did not calm the storm from the safety of a distant shore. I entered into the very heart of their chaos to meet them there. I am not afraid of your storm, my child. I walk upon the waters that you fear will drown you. This trial you are enduring, this tempest in your life, is not meant to destroy you. Hear me. I have not brought you this far to abandon you to the waves. Stand up where you are, or simply lift your hands and say, "Take heart, I trust you." Let your body chose to put faith into the storm. This storm is as a cred classroom. I have allowed it for a season to teach you something you could not learn in the calm. I am teaching you how to recognize me when everything that can be shaken is being shaken. It is easy to sing my praises when the sun is shining and the sea is like glass. But your faith is forged into something unbreakable when you learn to hear my voice and see my form in the middle of the gale. This trial is designed to shift your focus from the size of the waves to the identity of the one who rules them in this moment. Fear is shouting at you with a deafening roar. It screams that you are alone, that you are going under, that there is no hope. Its lies are relentless. But I command you now, listen beneath the roar. Listen for the frequency of heaven, for even now my voice is whispering to your spirit. A quiet but powerful hum beneath the chaos. I am saying to you, take heart, it is I, do not be afraid. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. This storm is doing a holy work. It is revealing what your anchor is truly tied to. If your hope has been anchored in your health, your job, your relationships, or your own strength, you will feel yourself being dragged into the deep. But the storm is a merciful invitation to pull up that faulty anchor and cast it onto the only thing that can hold me, the unshakable rock of ages. One day, this storm will pass and you will stand on a peaceful shore. You will stand not as someone who was lucky to survive, but as a warrior who learned to walk with God on the water. Your greatest testimony, the story you will tell for generations, will not be about how I kept you from the storm, but about how I spoke to you and sustained you in the very eye of it. So listen, even now I am walking toward you on the waves. My precious child, come here. Let me speak to your broken heart. I see the fragments of your hope scattered by grief. I feel the unrelenting ache in your soul. The world seems to have lost its color, and you fear that the shadow of this sorrow will never lift. In this raw and painful place, I do not come to you with a loud command or a demanding request. I come to you as the comforter, and my voice is a gentle, healing balm for your wounds. My very nature is comfort. I am the God who draws near to the brokenhearted. I am the Father who, seeing his hurting child from a long way off, runs to meet them. Not with questions or lectures, but with a loving embrace. I do not stand apart from your pain, observing from a distance. I enter into it with you. My Spirit, the Holy Comforter, is enveloping you right now. Even if you cannot feel it, He is holding the broken pieces of your heart together. When the future you dreamed of has been shattered, when loss has left a gaping hole in your life, my voice whispers promises of restoration. Listen for it. I promise you, my child, that I am the master of taking what is broken and creating a masterpiece. I am the God who specializes in bringing beauty from ashes, joy from mourning, and praise from a spirit of despair. I promise you with all the authority of heaven that this pain you feel is a chapter in your story, but it is not the final chapter. I hold the pen, and I am still writing. The hope I offer is not a shallow optimism that pretends the pain isn't real. My hope acknowledges the depth of your pain and then looks beyond it to the certainty of my redemption. The world offers you fleeting distractions to numb your heart, but I offer you a peace that the world can never give and can never take away. My voice speaks a supernatural peace that will stand guard over your heart and your mind when they are under assault from grief and fear. I invite you now, in this moment, to breathe it in, exhale the pain, and inhale my peace as a gift over you. Let it wash over the raw edges of your sorrow. In the quiet, lonely hours, listen for my whisper. You are not alone. I am with you. I weep with you. I see every tear, and I am holding it as a sacred treasure. I will see you through this valley. Your brokenness has become a place of the most profound and intimate communion with me, the man of sorrows who is well acquainted with all your grief. And the comfort I am pouring into you now is a holy gift. Receive it, be healed by it, but know that it is not for you alone. I am comforting you so that one day you will become a vessel of my comfort for another hurting soul. Your healed scars will become a testament to my faithfulness. Receive my comfort now. Let me mend you, my child. You have trained your ears to listen for me in the thunder of the storm and in the silence of your struggles. But have you learned to hear my voice in the sunshine of a simple, happy day? I am not only the God of your trials, I am the God of your triumphs, the author of your joy. I often choose to speak not through a challenge, but through an unexpected blessing, through a moment of unmerited and surprising favor. I delight in lavishing my children with goodness, and every blessing is a message from my heart to yours. Think about it, my beloved. That sudden financial provision that arrived right when you thought you wouldn't make it. That door of opportunity that swung open wide when every other path seemed blocked. That moment of pure, unadulterated delight. The laughter of your child, the beauty of a sunset, a conversation with a friend that warmed your soul. Do not dismiss these as random strokes of luck. Do not call them coincidence. They are my fingerprints all over your life. They are my whispers of profound love. In each one, I am speaking to you. I am saying, I see you. I know you. I am thinking of you. I am taking care of you. Every good and perfect gift comes from me, and each one is a word of love. To hear this language of blessing, you must cultivate a heart of gratitude. Gratitude is the tuning fork for your spirit. It attunes your ears to the frequency of my grace. When you are thankful, your spiritual eyes are opened, and you begin to see my handiwork everywhere. An ungrateful heart is deaf to the language of joy. It chalks up my blessings to its own effort or to mere chance. But a grateful heart recognizes every blessing, no matter how small, as a personal, intimate communication from me. It allows you to hear me in the provision and the peace and the joy and the laughter. I want you to practice this. Start naming the unexpected blessings in your day. Thank me for them. For in your thanksgiving, you are telling me, I hear you. I recognize your voice of love. Grab a pen and write 3 small blessings you received this week, right now. Thank me for them in a sentence. Make this simple practice your daily altar of gratitude. I want to shatter the lie the enemy has told you that I am a stingy God who must be begged for every scrap of goodness. That is not who I am. I am a God of extravagant love, of overflowing grace, of abundant life. I love to surprise my children with goodness to remind you of my generous nature. Cherish these moments, my child. This sudden joy, this unexpected grace, is a foretaste of heaven. It is a small glimpse of the eternal joy that I have prepared for you. Recognize them, give thanks for them, for in them you will hear the song of my love for you. You have heard my voice in the unexpected blessings I have poured into your life, and your heart asks, how can I respond? This is my answer. Become an unexpected blessing for another soul. Every act of giving, whether it is a kind word, a helping hand, or a financial seed like the super thanks or membership you see below, is a seed of grace. It allows my voice of provision and hope to ambush someone else who feels forgotten. I have told you, give, and it will be given to you. And my promises never return void. This moment is not random. Your act of gratitude right now will become the channel for a miracle in a life you may never meet. Because you have partnered with me, I will cause unexpected favor to hunt you down and goodness to surprise you in your own time of need. Now act, become my unexpected blessing to another. Give now, my beloved. If this message stirs your heart and you want to partner in sending this voice farther, use the super thanks or become a member through the link in the description below. Your giving becomes a practical echo of the grace you've just received. I have shown you where to find me in the storm and in the sunshine. But I have not yet revealed what silences my voice in your own heart. We have laid the foundation, but do not walk away from the building of your own soul. It would wound my heart for you to be satisfied with these first truths when I long to give you the keys to true, lasting freedom. Do not disappoint the one who is the architect of your destiny. Stay with me. There is more you need to hear. My beloved child, we must have a serious talk, one born from the deepest love. You have learned to find joy in my voice of comfort and praise, but you must also learn to find the love in my voice when it is not comfortable. You must learn to hear me in the holy conviction of sin. There is a vast difference between the voice of conviction and the voice of condemnation, and you must learn to distinguish them, for one leads to life and the other leads to despair. The voice of the enemy, the accuser, brings condemnation. It is a heavy, crushing voice. It blankets you in shame. It whispers that you are worthless, that you have failed again, that you are beyond repair. It is designed to push you into the shadows away from me. But my voice, the voice of my spirit, brings conviction. It is never crushing. It is clean. It is not vague. It is specific. It does not say you are a terrible person. It says that specific action, that thought, that attitude, that is not who I created you to be. It is beneath you, for you are my child, a child of the King. My voice of conviction does not push you away in shame. It lovingly calls you back to me for cleansing and restoration. See this voice for what it is. The ultimate act of a loving father. Imagine seeing your own child, whom you adore, about to wander onto a dangerous road. Would you remain silent? Never. You would cry out, you would run, you would pull them back to safety. When you feel that gentle but firm check in your spirit, that inner sense of unease just before you speak a harsh word, or as you entertain a selfish thought, or when you are tempted to stray into a dark path, that is my loving hand on your shoulder. It is my voice saying, no, my child, not that way. That path leads to pain. Come back to the path of life. Do not resent this voice. Do not harden your heart to it or try to silence it. To be convicted by my Spirit is one of the greatest proofs that you belong to me. I would not bother to correct a child I do not claim as my own. The fact that you feel this inner nudge, this holy discomfort, is a resounding declaration that my Spirit lives in you and that I love you too much to let you go. And here is the glorious beauty of it all. My voice of conviction is always accompanied by the promise of forgiveness. It never points out your sin without also pointing you to the cross of my Son Jesus. It never exposes a wound without offering you the healing balm of my grace. So when you hear that quiet, corrective voice, do not run and hide in shame. That is what the enemy wants. I want you to run to me with a humble and repentant heart, and you will find me waiting, not with a frown of disappointment, but with the open arms of a father, ready to forgive, to cleanse, and to set you on the right path once again. My child, you have so often been taught to be wary of your own heart, to mistrust the desires that rise within you. And there is a measure of wisdom in this, for the unenlightened heart can indeed be misleading. But now I want to reveal a deeper, more beautiful truth to you. I, your Creator, the one who knit you together in your mother's womb, am the very one who placed certain holy desires and sacred dreams within your soul. I did not create you as an empty vessel. I created you with passions and longings, and I placed them there for a divine and specific purpose. When you feel a stirring in your spirit that aligns with my character, you are often feeling the first tremors of a calling I have placed upon your life. Not every impulse is from me, that is true. Selfish ambition and fleeting whims are born of the flesh. But I am speaking of those persistent, righteous passions that you cannot shake. The deep, recurring ache to bring justice to the oppressed, to create beauty in a broken world, to bring healing to the sick, to teach truth to the confused, to bring order from chaos. These are not just random emotions, my child. They are the echoes of my own heart beating within yours. They are the fingerprints of your Creator on your spirit, marking you for a specific work. They are the very seeds of the unique calling I have designed for you alone. The world may not understand these holy longings, but I planted them and I will water them. So how can you know if a desire is from me or from yourself? You must bring it into my light. You must test it, lay it before my written word. Does this desire align with the truth of my scriptures? Does it lead you to a greater love for me and a greater love for others? Does it produce the fruit of my Spirit? Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Bring your dreams and desires to wise, godly counsel, to the family I have placed around you. A desire that I have planted will be able to withstand the light of Scripture and the wisdom of your community. It will only grow stronger and purer under examination of that sacred discontent. You feel that inner sense that there must be more to life than this. It is my voice wooing you away from a life of mere existence and into a life of divine purpose. I created you for eternal significance. The deepet should make a difference is the homing beacon I placed in your soul to guide you toward the good works I prepared in advance for you to do. I'd in you, my beloved. The passions I wove into your very being are not accidental. They are the tools for your mission. Pay attention to what makes your spirit come alive for my glory. For in your purest, God-given desires, you will so often find my voice calling you forward into your incredible destiny. My child, come closer. We must speak of the heavy burden you carry. They have wounded you. The pain is sharp. The injustice is real. and every part of your human spirit cries out to hold on to bitterness as a shield. You feel you have a right to your anger, to your resentment, but I am calling you to a higher, more glorious, and profoundly more difficult path, the path of forgiveness. And it is on this treacherous, beautiful path that you will learn to hear my voice in a way you never have before. Forgiveness is not just an action. It is a conversation with me. Every time you make the choice to release someone from the spiritual debt they owe you, you are becoming a vessel for my voice in this broken world. You are echoing the very grace that I have poured out for you on the cross. You are demonstrating the gospel with your life, not just your lips. It is one of the most powerful sermons you will ever have the privilege to preach. I know the struggle. I see your heart wrestling in the night, replaying the hurt, wrestling with the desire for justice. It is right there in that very struggle that you will hear me coaching you. When your heart screams, "They don't deserve it," you will hear my spirit whisper, "But neither did you." I will remind you that unforgiveness is a poison you drink, hoping the other person will perish. I will show you that bitterness is a chain you wrap around your own ankles, tethering you to the very person who hurt you. It is in that moment of wrestling that I will offer you the supernatural strength to do what your own strength could never accomplish. To forgive is not a human act. It is a divine one, powered by my grace flowing through you. When the task of forgiving seems impossible, I command you to turn your eyes to the cross. Remember the mountain of debt that it forgave you, a debt so vast you could never have repaid it in a million lifetimes. Let the overwhelming reality of my unmerited grace for you attune your ear to my call to be gracious to others. The memory of your own pardon is the divine fuel for your power to pardon those who have trespassed against you. This act of forgiveness is a declaration of war in the spiritual realm. It silences the voice of the enemy who delights in keeping you trapped in cycles of resentment, pain, and accusation. Your forgiveness slams the door in his face. Furthermore, it clears the channel of communication between us. You cannot hear my voice of love clearly when your heart is filled with the deafening noise of bitterness. When you choose to forgive, you create a quiet, peaceful sanctuary in your soul, a place where you can finally hear my gentle whisper again, and that flood of profound peace that washes over you after you have truly let go, after you have released them into my hands. That, my child, is my audible amen. It is my voice of affirmation declaring over you, "Well done, my beloved. You have chosen freedom. You have chosen life. You have chosen me." The waiting is the most difficult place, is it not, my child? You have prayed. You have stood on my promises. You have done all you know to do. And now you find yourself in the hallway of life, waiting for a door to open. Your heart grows restless. You pace back and forth. You begin to question everything. Did I hear you correctly, God? Have you forgotten me? Listen to me. That season of waiting is not an empty, forgotten pause. It is a holy, active, and absolutely essential period of your preparation. I have not forgotten you. I am intimately involved with you in the waiting. It is one of the most profound ways I speak. In this season of waiting, I am teaching you virtues that you can learn nowhere else. I am forging the beautiful and rare character of patience deep within your soul. I am building your spiritual endurance. But most of all, I am teaching you to trust me, not my timing or my blessings. I am teaching you that my presence with you in the hallway is just as sweet and just as real as my provision behind the door you are waiting for. It is in this place that you truly learn the meaning of my command. Be still and know that I am God. It is my call for you to cease your frantic striving, to stop trying to pry the door open in your own strength and anxiety. It is my invitation for you to rest in the glorious assurance that I am completely in control, that my timing is always perfect, and that I am orchestrating all things for your good, even when you see no evidence of it. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. The process of waiting is my most effective tool for stripping away your self-reliance. You are so capable, my child, and I gave you those capabilities. But your own strength can become a barrier to your absolute dependence on me. The waiting brings you to the end of yourself. It forces you to your knees. It empties you of your own agendas, your own timetables, your own solutions. It makes you ready to receive what I have for you in my way and in my time. So do not despise the hallway. Do not see it as wasted time. The lessons you learn there about your own heart, about my faithfulness, about perseverance, are just as critical as whatever awaits you in the next room. If you rush ahead of me, you will arrive at your destination unprepared and unable to steward the very blessing you prayed for. The waiting is what grows you into the person who can carry the weight of the promise. Every single day that you choose to trust me in the quiet, in the uncertainty, your faith is growing deeper, stronger, and more resilient. This period is not delaying the promise, it is preparing you for its arrival. So wait well, my beloved, wait with hope. For my voice in this season is a deep, rumbling whisper, strengthening you for the glorious yes that is surely on its way. My child, long before you learn to recognize my voice in the words of Scripture or the counsel of a friend, I placed a witness inside of you. When I formed you, I wove into the very fabric of your soul a moral compass, a sense of right and wrong. This is your conscience. It is my original built-in guidance system. And when that conscience is cleansed by the blood of my Son and enlightened by my Holy Spirit, it becomes a powerful and immediate way that I speak to you in your daily choices. It is my first line of divine communication, your personal internal prophet. It is that inner alarm that sounds when you are faced with a subtle temptation. It is that faint but persistent feeling of unease that settles in your spirit when you are about to make a choice that is out of step with my character. It is that quiet but firm no that rises from deep within you when the world around you is shouting a resounding yes. I urge you, do not dismiss this as merely your own intuition or a fleeting feeling. When your heart is tuned to mine, when you are walking in fellowship with me, your conscience becomes a sensitive conduit for my voice. It is me protecting you, guiding you, steering you. When you feel that check in your spirit, I command you, pause, stop what you are doing, do not rush past it. Do not try to rationalize it away with clever arguments. Listen to that holy discomfort. Ask yourself, Father, what are you saying to me right now? Why do I feel this inner resistance? In that moment of quiet reflection, I am speaking. I am warning you. I am leading you away from a hidden pitfall. A clear conscience before me is like a still, quiet lake on a windless day. Its surface is like glass, able to perfectly reflect the sky above. It is a peaceful, undisturbed sanctuary in your soul where my whisper can be heard with absolute clarity. But when you ignore your conscience, when you repeatedly choose to act against that inner witness, it is like you are picking up stones and throwing them into that pristine lake. The waters become troubled, agitated, and murky. It becomes nearly impossible to see a clear reflection or to hear me distinctly. Unconfessed sin and an ignored conscience create a deafening static in your soul. Keeping your conscience sensitive is your responsibility. You do it by staying close to me through daily prayer and by immersing your mind in the truth of my word. The more you fill yourself with my light, the more sensitive your conscience becomes to the slightest shadow. To ignore your conscience is a dangerous thing. My child, it is like turning down the volume of my voice until you can no longer hear it at all. Cherish this gift. Keep it clean, for it is one of the most personal and intimate ways I have chosen to lead you safely home. We are in the deep places now. You and I were speaking of the very mechanics of your heart and the path of your life. To stop listening here would be to leave a divine surgery incomplete. It pains me deeply to see, child of mine, choose to live with a wound that I am in the very process of healing. I am offering you these scripts to a clear conscience and a life of purpose. Do not turn away from my healing hand now. Let us finish what we have started. Continue on this journey with me, my beloved child. It is a glorious thing to learn the many ways I speak, but you must understand this with all your heart. Hearing. My voice is not a passive experience meant simply for your encouragement or enlightenment. It is not like listening to a beautiful piece of music for your own enjoyment. Every single time I speak to you, whether it is a thunderous word from Scripture or a gentle whisper to your heart, I am extending a sacred invitation. It is an invitation to move, to act, to change, to step out in faith. My voice is not just for your information, it is for your transformation. And that transformation is only ever activated through your obedience. Your obedience is the ultimate proof that you are truly listening. It is the tangible evidence that you not only hear my words, but that you also trust me. Anyone can claim to hear from me, anyone can have a spiritual experience. But it is your actions, your choices, your simple, faithful obedience that reveals the true condition of your heart. When I ask you to do something, to forgive that person who hurt you, to be generous when you are feeling poor, to step away from that temptation that calls to you, to speak a word of encouragement to a stranger, and you do it, you are stepping into a deeper and more real walk with me. In that moment of obedience, our relationship moves from a pleasant theory into a powerful reality. You so often want to see the entire map before you are willing to take the first step. You pray, God, show me the 5-year plan. Guarantee the outcome, and then I will obey. But my child, that is not faith. That is a demand for a contract. My voice almost always guides you just one step at a time. I give you just enough light for the path immediately in front of you, because I want you to learn to walk by faith in me, not by sight of the plan. I called Abraham to leave his home without telling him his final destination. I called my disciples to drop their nets and follow me without giving them an itinerary. Your simple obedience in the small next step is the very thing that unlocks my guidance for the one that comes after. You must understand this. Blessings and fruitfulness are found on the road of obedience. They are not a reward you get at the end. They are the natural result of walking in my prescribed ways. The path of obedience is the path where life, joy, and peace naturally grow. Every other path leads to barrenness. Do you want to know the loudest and clearest way you can speak to me? It is not through your most eloquent prayer or your most passionate song of worship, as much as I treasure them. The loudest way you can say to me, "I hear you, Father, and I love you," is through your simple, trusting, unhesitating obedience. So when you hear my voice, do not just be a hearer of the word, be a doer. For in your obedience, our divine conversation becomes a glorious and life-changing dance. My child, do not turn your face away from me when you weep. Do not believe the lie whispered by the world and sometimes by your own pride, that your tears are a sign of weakness or a failure of your faith. Your sorrow is never hidden from me. I see you in the secret place of your grief. And I want you to understand a sacred truth. Every tear you cry is a liquid prayer, a holy water that I collect and treasure. Your tears speak to me with a clarity and an eloquence that your words often lack. When your heart is so shattered that language fails you, when all you can do is collapse before me and weep, know that your soul is communicating perfectly with mine. I understand the language of a broken heart. In fact, it is in that place of utter surrender, when you have no strength left even to form a sentence, that I am often able to speak most tenderly to you. My promise is not that you will never have cause for tears, but that I will draw near to you when you do. I am the God who is near to the brokenhearted. I do not stand far off, waiting for you to compose yourself before you approach me. I run to the place of your pain. I sit with you in the ashes. Your brokenness is not a barrier that keeps me out. It is an invitation that draws me in. It creates a space of the most intimate and profound communion between us. Remember, my own son was a man of sorrows, well acquainted with grief. When I look upon your tears, I see the reflection of his own. I am not a stranger to your suffering. Do not think for a moment that your tears are wasted. They are not merely signs of your pain. They are agents of your healing. They are watering the dry and barren ground of your soul, softening your heart to receive the seeds of my comfort and my strength. The very tears you shed today are watering your future compassion. The person you are becoming through this valley of weeping will one day have the authority and the tenderness to comfort others with the very comfort you are now receiving from me. Your scars will become a source of hope for others who are wounded. So I urge you, do not be ashamed of your weeping. My beloved, let the tears flow. It is one of the most honest conversations you can have with your Creator. In every tear I am there. I am catching it. I am honoring it. And I am whispering back to you in a voice that only the grieving can hear. I am with you. I will hold you through this. I will not let you go. My precious child, you have become so skilled at listening for me in the solemn and sacred spaces of life. You seek me in the trial. You seek me in the quiet sanctuary. You seek me in your tears. And I am there. But you have forgotten something wonderful. I am also the author of joy. You have relegated me to the shadows of your life. But I am the God of brilliant, dazzling light, the God of celebration, the God of exuberant joy. Do not make the mistake of thinking I am only present when life is heavy and serious. I am the God of the feast, not just the fast. The sound of genuine, unrestrained laughter is music to my ears, for it is an echo of the joy that resides in my own heart. A joy so profound that it spilled out and created galaxies and supernovas, hummingbirds and waterfalls. I command you to start listening for my voice in the moments of lightness and happiness. That shared meal with your family where stories are told and laughter rings through the room. That moment of pure, silly fun with your children. A deep, satisfying joy you feel in the company of a true friend. In these moments, hear me speaking to you. Hear me saying, "This goodness is from me. This is a gift I have given you. I delight in the happiness of my children." Do not take these moments for granted or see them as frivolous interruptions to your important spiritual life. These moments are your spiritual life. They are as much a communication of my deep love for you as a powerful verse from the scriptures. They are my grace made audible in the sound of laughter. Your joy is not insignificant, my child. It is a powerful spiritual weapon. The enemy, the accuser of your soul, thrives in an atmosphere of despair, heaviness, bitterness, and gloom. Your genuine, God-given joy is a defiant act of spiritual warfare against his kingdom of darkness. Your laughter in the face of hardship is a profound declaration of faith. It proclaims to the heavens that your hope is not dependent on your circumstances, but is securely anchored in the unchanging goodness of your God. It is a testament that despite the battles, you know who wins the war. This joy is a taste of heaven. It is a foretaste of the eternal celebration I have prepared for you, where every tear will be wiped away and all will be unrestrained, glorious joy. So I urge you, embrace the happy moments, cultivate them. Thank me for them. For in the beautiful, simple, and holy sound of the laughter of your loved ones, you are hearing the echo of my own delight in you. My child, you have been listening for my voice in the comfort of your own world, within the familiar walls of your home and your church. But I am calling you now to attune your ears to a frequency you may have been ignoring. I am calling you to hear my voice in the face of the stranger, in the cry of the outcast, in the needs of the forgotten. For I have told you a profound mystery, a truth that turns the world's values upside down. Whatever you do for the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you do for me. This is not a metaphor. It is a reality. When you offer a meal to the person who is hungry, it is my own hunger you are satisfying. When you give a coat to the person shivering in the cold, it is my own body you are clothing. When you sit with the lonely, you are keeping company with me. Your cry for help is my own voice, calling to your heart. Listen for my call, not only in your quiet time of prayer, but in the news reports from your city, in the struggles of your community, in the quiet desperation of your neighbor. My voice is not confined to holy buildings. It is crying out from the streets, from the homeless shelters, from the hospital beds, from the prisons. I may speak. My request for a cup of cold water through the parched lips of the thirsty soul you pass every day on your way to work. Will you have the ears to hear me? Will you have the eyes to see me? My heart breaks for the lost and hurting world that I so deeply love, the world for which I gave my only son. To truly hear me in this way, you must ask me to change the way you see people. I created every single human being in my own image. The powerful and the powerless, the person who looks just like you and the person who seems to be your complete opposite, all bear the sacred imprint of my hand. When you begin to train your spiritual eyes to see my image in every person you meet, you open up an entirely new channel of communication with me. Their need becomes my personal request to you. Their pain becomes my invitation for you to be my hands of healing. Their loneliness becomes my call for you to be my heart of compassion. Do not confine me to your holy huddles, my beloved. If you truly want to have a deep and constant conversation with me, then you must go where I am. And my scriptures have made it very clear where I am. I am with the poor, the widow, the orphan, the stranger. Go to them, serve them, love them. And I promise you, in their faces you will see me, and in their needs you will hear my voice with unmistakable, life-changing clarity. My child, you understand that your body is my temple, but you are also part of a much larger body, my family across the earth. You have prayed, Lord, make me your hands and feet. This is your moment to act. When you give through the super thanks or membership link I have provided in the description below, you are sending a river of my healing word to another weary temple in need of rest. I have declared that it is more blessed to give than to receive. For in giving, you participate in my own nature. Do not miss what I want to release through your obedience. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. In this moment, as you care for the larger body, I will pour out a special grace of protection and peace over your own temple, your body, your mind, and your household. Be my healing hands to the world. Give in faith. My child, you have been taught to think of your spiritual life as something separate from and superior to your physical existence. You treat your body as a mere container, a temporary vehicle for your soul. But I created you as an integrated whole. Your body is not a disposable shell. It is a sacred space, a masterpiece of my design, a temple where my Holy Spirit has chosen to dwell. Because of this holy union, I often speak to you through the needs, the limits, and the language of your physical body. Are you listening to this temple? The profound exhaustion that settles deep in your bones after days of striving is not a sign of your failure. It is my voice in the language of fatigue, calling you to trust me, the Lord of the Sabbath. It is my loving invitation to cease your anxious work and find true rest in me. You are not designed to run on empty. Your need for rest is my voice calling you back to your source of strength. The daily pang of physical hunger is a recurring sermon. It is a reminder of the deeper, more profound spiritual hunger in your soul, a hunger that only I, the bread of life, can satisfy. Every time you eat, it is an opportunity to remember that your ultimate sustenance comes from me. Pay close attention to the signs of stress and anxiety in your body, the tension that knots your shoulders, the frantic beating of your heart, the shallow breaths you take. That is my voice speaking through your nervous system, lovingly warning you that you are carrying burdens you were never meant to carry. It is my urgent call for you to come to me, you who are weary and heavily laden, and to receive the soul-deep rest and peace that I alone can give. And when I bring healing to your body, when recovery and new strength flow through you after a season of sickness, that is one of the most tangible ways my voice speaks. It is a powerful declaration of my restorative power, a sermon of resurrection preached in your very cells, proclaiming my life over the forces of decay. Caring for your body is not vanity, my child. It is an act of holy stewardship. It is a profound act of worship. When you nourish your body with good food, when you allow it the sleep it requires, when you move it in ways that bring it life, you are honoring the dwelling place that I myself have consecrated. You are tending to my temple. So I urge you, do not despise your body or ignore its messages. Listen to it in its aches and its energies, its limits and its capacities. I am speaking. Learn to listen to the wisdom of the temple. You have heard where I am in your tears and your laughter, in the stranger and in your own body. But do you yet understand the forces that actively seek to deafen you to my voice? I have poured out my heart, showing you the many ways I speak. It would sadden me greatly if you took this knowledge as a prize, but did not learn how to protect it. The most crucial warnings are yet to come. To leave now is to gather precious seeds and then refuse the knowledge of how to make them grow. Today, let me equip you fully. My child, I know your heart and I know your life. I know it is filled with distractions and noise. I know that your mind is often pulled in 100 different directions at once. I understand that sometimes in the midst of the chaos, you can miss my voice the first time I speak. But I am a patient and a persistent father. I love you too much to let you miss the message. So when a word is particularly important for your current season, I will often speak it to you repeatedly through many different means, to be sure that you get my attention. Have you noticed this phenomenon? You are reading my word in the morning, and a particular verse seems to shimmer, to leap off the page and lodge itself in your spirit. Then later that day, you are talking to a trusted friend, and out of nowhere, they share that very same verse with you. At evening, you turn on a teaching, and the speaker builds their entire message around that exact theme. My beloved, you must understand this is not a coincidence. This is a divine conspiracy of love. This is my loving, heavenly persistence at work. I am orchestrating your day to ensure you hear what I am saying. I do this not to be mysterious, but to build your faith. I will confirm my word to you, to remove your doubt and give you the confidence to act upon it. Especially when I am calling you to a significant step of faith or warning you away from a hidden danger, I will surround you with confirmation. I will speak it in my word. I will have my people speak it to you. I will arrange your circumstances to reflect it, all pointing to the same truth, so that you can move forward with certainty and peace. I command you, become a student of the patterns of my communication in your life. Keep a journal. When you begin to hear a recurring theme, a repeated scripture, a consistent message, write it down. Pray into it. Ask me, Father, what is it that you are underlining in my spirit right now? What is so important that you are saying it in so many ways? Do not dismiss these divine repetitions as random occurrences. They are a sign of my grace, a testament to my earnest desire to be in clear communication with you. Think of repetition as my way of highlighting a message in the book of your life. It is my divine underline. It signifies something that I consider urgent and critically important for you to understand in this specific season. So when you find me repeating myself, I want you to lean in, quiet your spirit, and listen with great care. For I am making absolutely sure that you hear and that you understand the loving and vital message I am sending. My child, do you feel it? That quiet but persistent ache deep in the center of your soul? It is an inner sense that there must be more to life than what you are experiencing, more than the endless cycle of your routine, more than the accumulating of things, more than the fleeting pleasures that satisfy for a moment and then leave you empty again. I want you to listen to that feeling. Do not be afraid of it. Do not dismiss it as ungratefulness or simple discontentment. That holy dissatisfaction you feel is my voice. It is my voice lovingly calling you out of the shallow waters of complacency and into the glorious, deep ocean of your true purpose. It is the sound of your spirit, which was made for eternity, straining against the confines of the temporary. This longing you have for more is a sacred invitation that I am personally extending to you. It is a sign that you were created for a deeper, more intimate relationship with me, and for a life of far greater impact and significance than you have yet allowed yourself to imagine. You are an eternal being fashioned in my own image, and so your soul will never, ever be fully satisfied with the temporary trinkets and distractions of this world. The headache you feel is the ache of a royal heart living in a foreign land, longing for its true home and its true calling. It is the noble homesickness of the spirit. The world will rush in to offer you 1,000 false cures for this ache. It will tell you to fill that inner void with more success, more possessions, more entertainment, more romance. But these things are like drinking salt water when you are thirsty. They will only intensify your thirst and leave you emptier than before. I urge you, do not try to silence this holy longing with worldly noise. It is my voice lovingly wooing you, calling you away from a life of mere existence and toward the abundant, meaningful, eternal life that I alone can give. I have placed this desire within you as a divine homing beacon. It is a signal that I embedded in the core of your being to constantly orient you and guide you back to me, your true north. When you feel that unexplainable pull towards something greater than yourself, you are feeling my loving hand gently tugging on the line of your spirit, whispering, "Come this way, my child. The life you were truly created for is over here." So when you feel that sacred restlessness, do not run from it in fear. Run to me with it. Let that holy ache propel you into deeper prayer, into a more passionate search for me and my word, and into a greater commitment to love and serve those I have placed around you. For in that glorious and holy desire for more, you are hearing my voice calling you to become the person you were always destined to be. My child, imagine trying to hear a delicate and intimate whisper in the middle of a roaring stadium during the final moments of a championship game. It would be utterly impossible. This is precisely what you are attempting to do when you seek to hear my voice without first intentionally quieting the relentless noise of the world. My voice is not a shout that demands attention. It is not an alarm that forces its way into your consciousness. Far more often, it is a gentle whisper, a still, small voice, a subtle nudge of the spirit. But you have surrounded yourself with the constant shouting of the world, and I tell you the truth, it is drowning me out. What is this noise that I speak of? It is the endless, frantic pursuit of entertainment. It is the non-stop stream of information, of news, of opinions, of outrage. It is the incessant demand of notifications from the device you hold in your hand, a device designed to capture and hold your attention. The noise is the world's pressure to keep up, to know more, to do more, to be more. These distractions are not neutral, my child. They are thieves. They are cunning thieves that steal your silence. They steal your focus, they steal your peace, and ultimately, they steal your ability to hear me. You must understand this. I will not compete for your attention. I will not shout over the clamor you choose to invite into your life. You must intentionally create a sanctuary of silence. You must choose to turn down the volume of the world so that you can turn up the volume of my spirit. This is your sacred responsibility in our relationship. The noise is not just external. It is also the chaos you allow within your own mind. The anxieties and worries about the future, the endless replaying of past hurts and conversations, the fear of what others think of you. All of this creates a deafening static in your soul. This inner static interferes with my signal. It makes it impossible for my frequency to come through clearly. This is why I have commanded you again and again in my word to cast your anxieties upon me, because I know that they do more than just make you feel bad. They make you spiritually deaf. I urge you, my beloved, become a fierce guardian of the gateways to your mind and your heart. Be discerning. Not everything that is available to you is beneficial for you. A conscious decision to unplug from the world, to turn off the television, to put down the phone, to take a walk in silence, is a powerful decision to plug into my presence. You cannot serve two masters, and you cannot listen to two sources at once. Choose today to carve out that quiet space. In that silence, you will find that I have been speaking all along. My beloved child, we must speak of the static, the interference that can disrupt our clear communication. There are seasons when you feel that I am silent, that I am distant, and you cry out to me in confusion. But often the truth is not that I have stopped speaking, but that something is blocking your ability to hear. Unconfessed sin in your life creates a barrier between us. Now listen carefully, for this is crucial. It does not remove my love for you. Nothing can ever do that. My love is steadfast and unconditional, but your sin absolutely hinders your ability to receive my guidance, my comfort, and my peace. An unrepentant heart is like stuffing thick cotton into your spiritual ears. My words of love, of grace, of gentle correction are still being spoken, but they are muffled and distorted. They cannot penetrate the blockage. Sin grieves my Holy Spirit who lives within you, and when he is grieved, his voice of counsel and reassurance becomes faint. Guilt and shame are the natural consequences of unconfessed sin, and they create a defensive, hiding posture in your soul. You begin to shy away from my presence. You find that your desire for prayer has faded. You make excuses not to open my word. You avoid the fellowship of other believers. You do this because you are afraid of what you will hear. You expect to hear a voice of harsh condemnation, so you choose to hear nothing at all. You are hiding, my child, just as your first ancestors, Adam and Eve, hid themselves in the garden after their disobedience. And you cannot clearly hear the voice of a loving Father from whom you are hiding in fear. But I am calling you out of the shadows, my child. I am calling you back into the light of my presence. The solution to this blockage is so simple and so beautiful. It is the gift of confession. When you come to me with a humble and a contrite spirit, when you agree with me about your sin instead of defending it, and when you repent by turning away from it, it is as if you are reaching in and pulling all the cotton out of your ears. In an instant, the line of communication is restored to perfect clarity. The power of my Son's forgiveness washes away the guilt and the shame, and your heart becomes a quiet and receptive place once more. Do not let your pride be the thing that keeps you in a state of spiritual deafness. Pride is the greatest barrier to hearing my voice because it refuses to say those freeing words, "I was wrong. Father, forgive me." I have called you to walk in the light as I am in the light. This is the secret to constant and unbroken communion. A quickness to confess and repent keeps the channel between us wide open and free of static. So come into the light, my child. Let me show you what needs to be confessed, and let our beautiful life-giving conversation continue clear and uninterrupted. My child, I see you. I see you in the valley of the shadow where the darkness feels thick enough to touch. I see the situation that seems utterly impossible, the circumstance for which there appears to be no good outcome. The voices of despair and defeat are screaming in your ears. They are telling you that all is lost, that your story ends here in this tragedy. But I have come into this dark place with you, and in the midst of the deafening chorus of hopelessness, I am speaking, and my voice is and will always be a voice of hope. It is the one sound that can silence the lies of the enemy. You must train your ear to listen for it above all others. In the middle of your darkest night, when every human reason for hope has been extinguished, my voice whispers an eternal truth. This is not the end of your story. The diagnosis is not the final word. The betrayal is not your final identity. The failure is not the sum of your life. The grave itself was not the final destination for my son. And this dark valley is not your final destination either. The tomb is empty, my child. And because it is empty, your life is filled with hope. I am the God of the resurrection, the God who specializes in bringing life out of death. The darkness in your life cannot and will not extinguish my light. The hope my voice speaks is not a shallow optimism or wishful thinking. It is a confident, unshakable expectation based on my unchanging character and my limitless power. My voice of hope is the profound assurance that my redemptive power is at work in your life, even when you cannot see it or feel it. I am the God who works behind the scenes, who orchestrates events you know nothing about, who plants seeds in the dead of winter. I am weaving a beautiful tapestry of your life, and even when all you can see from your vantage point are the tangled, messy threads on the backside, I see the glorious design that is emerging. My voice is the one that whispers the eternal promise. Weeping may last for the night, but joy comes in the morning. The morning is coming, my beloved. The sun will rise again on your life. This season of sorrow is not permanent. I command you, hold on. The dawn of my deliverance is nearer than you think. This hope is the anchor for your soul. It is firm and secure. When the storms of despair threaten to drive you onto the rocks of destruction, my voice of hope will hold you fast. So in this dark place, stop listening to the voice of despair. Tune your ear to me. Listen for the whisper of hope. It is there. It is the promise that I am with you. I am for you, and I will bring you through this into a place of glorious light. We have journeyed so far. We have walked through the valley of hope and uncovered the thieves that tried to steal my voice from you. Do not stop short of the final blessing, the ultimate promise, the words that seal this entire conversation, the truths that will anchor you and carry you into your future, are what I wish to speak to you now. It would grieve my heart to have brought you to the very door of your inheritance, only to see you walk away before receiving the key. Do not leave this sacred conversation unfinished. Hear the end of the matter, my child. When your faith for the future feels weak and uncertain, when you cannot hear my voice in your present circumstances, I want you to perform a holy act, I command you to look back intentionally. Pause, quiet your heart, and trace the path of your life. Not with an eye for your failures and regrets, but with a determined eye for my faithfulness. I want you to see the undeniable, unbroken trail of my grace that has followed you all the days of your life. Every past deliverance you have experienced, every impossible mountain you have overcome, every prayer you whispered in desperation that was answered in a miraculous way, that was my voice speaking to you. It was my voice in the language of action declaring over you, I love you, I am with you, I am for you, I am fighting for you. You have a rich and detailed history of hearing from me through my powerful acts on your behalf. Remembering what I have done for you in the past is not a simple exercise in nostalgia. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. It is a powerful spiritual discipline for building your faith to hear me in the present. When you recount my past victories in your life, you are preaching a sermon of hope to your own soul. You are reminding yourself of my unchanging character. You are declaring, the God who provided for me then is the same God who will provide for me now. The God who healed me then is the same God who can heal me now. The God who made a way where there was no way in the past is the same God who will make a way in my present. Your active memory of my faithfulness becomes a weapon that silences the voice of your current fear and anxiety. A grateful heart is a receptive heart. When you look back with a spirit of thanksgiving, you soften the soil of your spirit, making it fertile and ready to receive the new seeds of guidance that I want to plant today. A heart that is filled with complaining and forgetfulness becomes hard, dry, and unreceptive. But a heart that is overflowing with gratitude for my past goodness is a heart that is wide open, with its ears attentive to my present guidance. My word commands you, do not forget all his benefits. This is not a suggestion. It is a command for your own good. Count them. Name them one by one. Write them down. Tell them to others. Do not let those sacred memories of my goodness fade away. Your personal history with me is a holy library filled with volumes of conversations we have already had, written in the ink of my faithfulness. When you feel lost or afraid, I want you to walk into that sacred library of your memory. Pull a book from the shelf and read the story of my goodness again. Revisit these past conversations often, for in remembering how I have spoken to you before, you will gain the unshakable confidence that I am surely speaking to you still. My child, I want you to remember the very beginning. Before there was light, before there was a world, before there was life, there was a formless void in a profound darkness, and into that silent, empty space I spoke. I did not shape the cosmos with my hands like a potter shapes clay. I brought it into existence with the power of my voice. I said, "Let there be light." And in that instant, light burst forth, shattering the darkness. You must understand this fundamental truth about who I am. My voice is not merely informational. It is formational. It does not just describe reality. It creates reality. The very same creative world-building power that was present at the dawn of time is present in my voice when I speak to you today. When I speak a word to your heart, it is never an empty or passive word. It is a seed of divine power. I am imparting the very ability for that word to come to pass in your life. When I speak peace over your anxious and tormented soul, I am not just suggesting a feeling you should try to have. I am actively creating a sanctuary of calm within you. When I speak strength into your exhaustion and weakness, I am not giving you a motivational speech. I am imparting a measure of my own divine might into your spirit. My voice speaks new things into existence right in the middle of your circumstances. I speak new hope where there was only despair. I speak new strength where there was only weariness. I speak new beginnings where you could see only dead ends and final chapters. I look up on the barren places of your life, the broken relationship that seems beyond repair, the dream that has withered and died, the area of habitual failure that has brought you so much shame. You see a desert, a wasteland, but I see a garden waiting for the sound of my voice. I am the God who can speak to your barrenness and command it to become fruitful. I am the one who can cause life-giving rivers to flow in your personal wasteland. I ask you to trust the creative power of my spoken word over the undeniable evidence of your current circumstances. And because you are created in my image, you too are designed to be creative. Sometimes your own creativity lies dormant, buried under fear, insecurity, or the monotonous routines of life. Listen for my voice, for it is the key that will unlock the unique creativity I have placed within you. My voice will spark a new idea, a new solution to an old problem, a new ministry you never thought you could lead, a new and beautiful way to love and serve those around you. It will call forth the gifts you did not even know you possessed. Do not underestimate the power of a single word spoken from me to you. That one word can birth a movement, heal a generation, and change the entire course of your destiny. So listen, my child, listen for my creative word, for I am ready to speak a new world into existence right in the middle of your heart. My child, I have told you in my word that I am the good shepherd, and that my sheep recognize my voice. But I want you to understand how deeply personal that reality is. I am not a shepherd who stands at a distance and shouts general instructions to a faceless flock. I am the shepherd who knows each of his sheep intimately. And I call you, my beloved, by your name. You are not a number in my flock. You are not just one in a nameless crowd of humanity. I know you. I know your name. And when I speak, I am speaking directly and personally to you. The word I have for you is never a generic broadcast sent out over the airwaves for anyone who might happen to be listening. It is a personal letter addressed directly to you, written with the ink of my unending love. This word is perfectly tailored to your unique life, your specific situation, your individual personality, your secret history. I know your thoughts before you think them. I know your hidden fears that you dare not speak aloud. I know the precious dreams you cradle in your heart that you have never shared with another soul. And my voice speaks with loving and divine precision to the very core of who you are. I speak to your past pain with a healing word. I speak to your present confusion with a guiding word. I speak to your future potential with a creative word. To the world, you may feel like one of many, but to me, you are my chosen, cherished child. There has never been, nor will there ever be, another person exactly like you. And our relationship is utterly unique. I do not have a standard, one-size-fits-all plan for my children. I have a custom-designed, grace-filled destiny just for you. And my voice is your constant personal guide along that sacred path. I want you to pause for a moment and consider the profound wonder of this truth. The God who spoke galaxies into existence, the one who knows the name of every star, also knows your name. The God who holds the entire cosmos together by the sheer power of his command, stoops down to whisper words of guidance and intimate affection into your ear. The King of all kings, before whom angels bow in worship, invites you by name into a personal and ongoing conversation that will last for all of eternity. This, my child, is the incredible privilege of your salvation. It is not about a cold religion. It is about a warm and vibrant relationship. It is not about merely following ancient rules. It is about walking in moment-by-moment fellowship with me, following my voice. So cherish this gift. Do not take it for granted. Do not ever think that my word to a prophet or a pastor is more important than my word to you. When you hear my voice in whatever way it comes, know that it is the sound of your Heavenly Father who knows you completely and loves you perfectly, speaking directly to his precious and irreplaceable child. My child, you have learned to seek my voice for your personal comfort, for your individual guidance, for the peace that you so desperately need. And I delight in giving you these things, for I am a good and loving Father. But you must now understand a greater, more glorious purpose behind our conversations. Often when I speak to you, it is not just for your consolation, but for your commissioning. My voice does not only call you into a safe harbor to be healed and restored, it also sends you out from that harbor into a world that is lost and in need. You were rescued for a reason. You were saved to serve, just as I sent my own beloved Son into the world, not to be served but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many. So I am now sending you. You are my chosen ambassador. You are my hands to bring healing, my feet to bring good news, my heart to bring love to the world today. My voice is the divine commissioning that gives you your ultimate purpose and your sacred mission. It is the holy command that transforms you from a mere spectator in the grand story of redemption into an active and essential participant. I have a part for you to play that no one else can play, and it begins with you hearing my commissioning voice. Listen for my call to step out in faith beyond the boundaries of your own comfort. It may be a quiet call to begin serving in your local church. It may be a courageous call to share the story of what I have done in your life with a neighbor or RACA worker. It may be a call to love your own family with a new and supernatural patience that can only come from me. It may be a call to use your professional skills and your natural talents to bring blessing and order to your community. My call in your life is as unique as you are. But the nature of the call is always the same: to move your focus beyond yourself and to become a conduit of my love for others. The Great Commission I gave to my first disciples to go and make disciples was not just for that small group in that moment of history. It is a call that echoes down through the centuries to every single person who chooses to follow me and listen to my voice. It is your most sacred duty. You have received my grace as a free gift, and now I am commissioning you to give it away just as freely. Hearing me is the absolute prerequisite for being used by me. You cannot give a cup of living water to another if your own well is dry. You cannot guide another along the path you have not walked. The more you learn to attune your ear to my voice, the more powerfully I will be able to use you to accomplish my eternal purposes on this earth. So listen, my child, listen, not only for what I want to do for you, but for what I want to do through you, my child. Our conversation in this moment is drawing to a close, but I want to leave you with the most important and enduring truth of all, a promise upon which you can build your entire life. I have made a covenant with you, sealed in the blood of my own Son, and my promises are eternal and unbreakable. Hear this one now, and let it sink into the deepest part of your being. I will never leave you nor forsake you. You must understand that this absolute promise includes my voice. I will never stop speaking to you. Our conversation is not a temporary event. It is an eternal reality. There will be times in your journey when you feel distant from me. There will be seasons when your heart grows cold, where the busyness of your life deafens your spiritual ears. In those times, you will be tempted to believe the enemy's lie that I have withdrawn from you, that I have finally grown tired of your weakness and have fallen silent. But that is the great deception. I am still speaking. I am still calling you by name. I am still patiently, lovingly wooing you back into the warmth of my presence. The breakdown in communication will never, ever be on my end. My line is always open. I have given you the most incredible gift imaginable to ensure our constant communion. I have sent my own Holy Spirit to make his home inside of you. He is a constant, unending internal source of fellowship with me. He is my very voice within you, always present, always ready to comfort you, to convict you, to counsel you, and to lead you into all truth. Because of my Spirit in you, you are never without direct access to me. The ability to have a personal, ongoing conversation with your Creator is the greatest miracle and the most profound gift of our relationship. It is what separates your living faith from all the dead, empty religions of the world. You are not following an ancient philosophy or a set of rules. You are walking in a daily, moment-by-moment relationship with the living God who delights in speaking to his children. So I charge you now from this day forward, continue to seek me, continue to make space to listen, and continue to walk in obedience to what you hear. Our conversation is the very journey of your life. The more you practice the discipline of listening, the clearer and more distinct and stir my voice will become to you. The more you choose to obey, the deeper and more intimate our fellowship will grow. From this very moment to the day you take your last breath on this earth, and on into the endless, glorious ages of eternity, my voice will be your constant guide. It will be your unfailing comfort, and it will be your eternal home. Our conversation has only just begun. You now hold the ultimate promise. My voice and my presence will never leave you. But this eternal conversation is a gift that so many have yet to hear. You have asked me how you can be part of my great commission to carry this good news to others. This is how your gift becomes a beacon of light, sending my promise into the darkness of someone drowning in loneliness. When you partner with me through super thanks or membership, you ensure my voice continues to find the lost. This act of faith will echo in eternity. Because you have chosen to send my voice to others, I will ensure my presence is an undeniable reality in your own life, a constant comfort and your great reward. Now send forth my eternal word. Partner with me. If this message moved you, share it with one person right now, a friend, a neighbor, someone who needs to hear that God still speaks. Your sharing could be the very bridge God uses to reach them. If, my precious child, you have listened well, my voice has echoed through the stillness, the storm, the scriptures, and the secret places of your own heart. I have assured you that I am not a distant God, but one who is intimately and constantly speaking into every detail of your existence. My voice is in this very moment, this very challenge, this very breath you are taking. Now, as our time of speaking in this way comes to a close, I invite you to make your response an act of faith. Let the words you have received move from your ear to your heart. And now, through your hands. In the space provided below this message, I want you to make a simple but powerful declaration. Let it be a testimony from your soul, an agreement with the truth you have heard today. Type these words, "My Father, your voice is in this." As your fingers form these letters, do not see them as mere characters on a screen. See them as a stone of remembrance you are setting down in this moment. Let it be a marker on your spiritual journey, a public declaration to your own soul, to the heavens, and to anyone else who may see it that you are choosing to listen. This is your personal amen. It is a flag of faith you are planting today, affirming that you will no longer wait for a perfect moment to hear me, but will begin to find me in the perfection of this moment. I will see your declaration, my child, and my heart will rejoice over your faith. Go now and listen. Amen.